Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Module 1 of Dropship Lifestyle. This module is going to be all about niche selection. So what that basically means is choosing what types of products you're eventually going to start selling online. This module is extremely important. I mention that because a lot of people sign up for my course, right? And they want to go through every module as quickly as possible. They want to put up a store and they assume that, the sooner they do it, the sooner they'll be making money. And, I wish that's how it worked, but that's just not the way it is. Like I say, on my blog and my sales page, in the intro video, you're really starting a real business here, right? So picture you had, I don't know, $500,000 in the bank and you were going to open an offline store in your hometown or, in some major city. You wouldn't just quickly try to find the type of business you wanted to open and then open it the next day, right? You'd put a lot of time into the research phase, into first picking what type of business, and then into researching that business, which is going to be stage 2 of this program. But I just want to make that clear that this really is an important part of the process, and you shouldn't just watch the video, say, okay, this is my niche, and then move on. It requires a lot of thought. It does require a lot of effort, and it's a good thing. You're doing this for a reason. Remember, you're trying to build a real business. So I'm going to break that all down in this module, and I'm going to describe what type of niches I like to go for. Of course, I'm not just going to give you a list of niches and say choose one. I'm going to cover instead the criteria that I use myself when brainstorming niche ideas. So at the end of this video, when it's all said and done, I'm going to ask you to start creating a master list of niches for yourself. That's the ultimate goal. That's what we'll get to. But first, I'm going to walk you through a PowerPoint presentation that I put together, and I'm going to just break it down step by step, everything that I do when thinking of niche ideas. And just so you know, this isn't something you do one time and then forget about. I've been in this business now for 8 years, and I still do this daily. It just starts coming naturally. You just start thinking of more and more great niches to sell in online, because there are plenty of them. It might not seem like it at first, but once you start thinking about it, the ideas will just keep coming. So I will give you all this information now in the PowerPoint, and let me just open it up and we'll get started. Okay, so when I speak of niche selection, I'm really talking about what types of products you want to sell online, right? What related groups of products you want to put together and sell on your future e-commerce dropship websites. Now, there are certain things that I look for that I'm going to discuss in this video, and here's what they are as just a brief overview. I'm looking for niches that have high conversion rates. What a conversion rate is how many people buy out of how many people visit your site. So obviously, if I'm going to send 100 visitors to my site, I want as many of them as possible to buy. I want a higher conversion rate. So I'm looking for niches with high conversion rates. I want no returns. Now, obviously, it's impossible to choose niches that have 0 returns. You'll probably have, a couple of them every once in a while, but I want niches that definitely are not prone to returns. So quick example on this, what are some things that get returned a lot? Any item that's very personal, let's say bedding sheets or a mattress or apparel, like a shirt or a sweater or something. These are things that customers might feel comfortable buying online, but then they get them and maybe the sheets don't feel the way they envisioned it when they saw a picture of it online. Maybe the mattress is harder than they wanted it to be. Maybe the shirt doesn't fit right. These are niches that you're guaranteed to have higher than normal return rates in, and niches I personally would never get involved with. Another thing I look for are niches that do not require a lot of customer service, and I'll get more into this later. But remember, we're looking to build a business that can be as automated as possible. And you don't want to have, a business that you need to have a ton of pre-selling involved, plus a ton of post-sale questions where the customers keep calling in after they receive their items. You want a business that can be as streamlined as possible. So these are the 3 things that I look for. So what I'm going to do in this module is walk you through each one and really get into detail about what I look for each 3 of these things. But before I do that, I want to get into why we're talking about niche-specific stores here. Now, in this whole entire course, you're going to keep hearing me refer to niche-specific stores, building stores that sell related products. Now, I've done things both ways, right? I've built niche-specific stores, and I've also built shopping mall type stores. Now, a shopping mall type store would be something like Amazon, where you can go on and buy whatever you want. What I've found is that my stores that are focused on one niche in particular convert so much higher, meaning that my traffic is so much more valuable to me. The thing is, on my shopping mall sites, I'm spending the same amount of money to get a visitor there as I am to my niche specific stores, except I'm much more likely to convert and profit on my niche specific store. So that's all I do now, and that's what I want you guys to do too. So here are some examples of related niches. So I put up for store one, maybe a blender and some knives and plates and pots and pans, things like that. The second group would be maybe a lawnmower, a weed whacker, an edger, related items. The store three in lighting, I have some desk lamps, a floor lamp, a lava lamp, just all things that are in related niches. That's really important. So people always ask me, like, how niche specific should I get? Go back to that lighting example. Should I sell lighting online or should I sell chandeliers online? I always say to niche down, that's what I call it, as deep as possible. So to get down as deep as you can get within a niche, where you could still find at least 20 suppliers for that niche. And these 20 suppliers will become your dropship suppliers. Now, obviously right now you don't even know how to find suppliers, so you're not going to start doing this yet, but it's something to keep in mind as you progress through dropship lifestyle. You want to niche down as deep as possible where you could still find 20 suppliers for said niche. So let's say you started with lighting, then move down to chandeliers, then maybe take it one step further and move down to entryway chandelier. As long as you could find at least 20 suppliers, I would keep digging down into that level of a niche. So one thing I do that I'm going to recommend you guys too is to build groups of stores in related niches. Now, at first, if this is your first go at dropshipping, your first attempt at e-commerce, I want you to build one store. But I also want to introduce this concept to you. So once your first store is up and profitable, you can start expanding. And also while you're brainstorming niches, you could start thinking of things related to what you come up with. So the reason I build groups of stores in related niches is because this is a good way for me to cross-sell items to my customers. Now, here's what that means. Let's say I wanted to start today from nowhere, right? It's a fresh start for me. I'm just getting into it. I have no e-commerce stores. What am I going to do? Well, if I built a store that sold computer chairs, a store that sold treadmills, and a store that sold guitars, maybe that would be great. Maybe that'll sell well and I'd make a lot of money. Okay, but if I sell these items, I can't cross-sell to my customers, because what are the chances that someone buys a computer chair and also wants an electric guitar? Yeah, it's possible. It's not likely. So what I personally do is build stores in related niches. So let's say you have a store that sells computer chairs, right? That's your first store. From there, maybe move on to modern desks. From there, maybe move on to computer monitors. Now, I'm not saying these are things I'd sell, but it's just trying to get you guys to think in the mindset of niche-related stores. Now, the reason I do this is because once a customer buys a computer chair from me, I can advertise my desk website to them. I can advertise a computer monitor to them. And this is a great way to increase the lifetime value of your customer and to not lower your conversion rate. So you may ask, okay, well, you're going to sell computer chairs, you're going to sell desks, you're going to sell LCD monitors. Why don't you put them all on one website? You want to cross-sell to your customers anyway. Well, like I said earlier, I've found that if I do have all three of these niches on one website, my conversion rate will be lower. I know I'm much better off putting them on separate stores. And then after the customer already checks out of my website, after I've made the sale, after I've had made my money, I could tell them, okay, here's another option if you want to buy this as well. The reason I do this and I recommend doing it is because, like I said, you're probably going to be paying for some of your traffic. And even if it's cheap, even if it's 5 cents a click, you want that traffic to be as valuable as possible. And you're going to get the most for your money on niche specific stores. So I don't just do this, one time. I don't just have like one related niche as shown here, desks, chairs, and monitors. I do this over and over and over again in all different niches. So let me show you right here what I mean. Let's say that first example I just gave you, okay, I have my network of computer chairs, desks, LCD monitors. That's one group, great. Then a second thing I would do, go back to that treadmill example, I would have a related store selling free weights and then maybe a related store selling home gyms. Why do I do this? Same reason as with the other one. I can cross-sell my customers after they've already purchased from me while maintaining the highest conversion rate. The third example, I'll go back to those guitars. Let's say I'm selling them. Maybe I have a website that sells, training DVDs and then another related store that sells musicians' headphones. So I can keep cross-promoting, keep increasing that lifetime value of each customer. So to get into the niche selection criteria and what I'm going to walk you through here, it all starts with pricing, right? I'm going to talk about what the perfect price point is, what the hot spot that I found is for selling items, especially when drop shipping. the target market. Who should you sell to? You could break down markets a million different ways. I'm going to keep it very simple because that's really what I do. And I'll show you who I sell to that leads to the least customer service issues, the least hassle, and the most automated of a business. I'm also going to talk about generic brands, how to get involved in niches that aren't dominated by a few big players who are just putting tons of money into advertising, every year that you won't be able to compete with. I'm going to show you how to get into drop shipping while staying away from those types of competitors. So before I do any of that, let's just talk a little bit about how drop shipping works in case you're not 100%, sure of it. It's very simple. You're going to sell items on your website, right? The customer is going to go to your website. They're going to place an order. They're going to buy from you. Just knowing what your store is. They're not going to know you're a drop shipper or anything like that. They're just going to go to your website, seeing you're an online retailer. They're going to place an order. After that, you're going to place this order with your dropship supplier. So you're going to go to your supplier's website, most likely. You're going to put in an order at a wholesale price. Now, a lot of people get very confused when they start with this, and they think you're going to be drop shipping for a company like Amazon, right? Like you'll be selling on your site, they're going to buy from Amazon. No, that's not at all what we're doing. The companies that you're going to be working with are very private. No one could go on their website and place orders. Once you get approved for accounts with them, they'll most likely send you dealer login information. So the customer would place the order on your website. You would then go to their website. The suppliers have to log in through secure backend because you're an authorized retailer, and then you could see your wholesale prices, and then you could place the order. Now, once you do that, the dropship supplier is going to send the item to your customer. So it goes direct from them to your customer. You don't do anything. It just goes, they handle the shipping, they handle all that. You keep the profit. Obviously, your profit is your website's price minus your supplier's price. You keep the rest. That's the basic overview of dropshipping in a nutshell. Obviously, we can make it much more complex than that, and I will get into things in much more detail as we go through it, but I just wanted to just give you the basics now so you really know what you're getting into and you understand the business. I also thought this would be a good intro to let you know why I think it's just as easy to sell a $7 product as it is a $700 product. Now, a lot of people know that when I first got started with e-commerce, I actually had an offline business that I transitioned into online. So my first go at e-commerce was a bakery route that I actually bought right out of college for a bakery in Brooklyn, New York. And what I would do once I actually, found out about e-commerce, I started a website and I marketed these Brooklyn bakery products to people who used to live in New York, who had moved away, and who still wanted them. So that was my first go at e-commerce. I was selling products in the maybe $10 to $20 range, and it was going well. I was selling a lot of items. I was making money. And I thought, why can't I do this on a bigger scale? Let me take this to the next level. If I could sell $20 items, let me try to sell $1,000 items. And you know what? I did a lot of research. I put up stores selling at the higher end, and I got just as many sales, and I made a lot more money, to say the least. So with drop shipping, I'm going to give this example here of why it's just as easy to sell a $7 product as it is a $700 product. Now, the same exact amount of time goes into brainstorming ideas. So when you're coming up with your niche selection list that you're going to do after this video, it's going to take just as long to think of inexpensive items to sell as it will with expensive items. The same amount of time is going to go into sourcing suppliers. Once we get into different modules in Dropship Lifestyle and work through it, I'm going to show you how to find suppliers. Same amount of work if you're selling cheap items as expensive items. The same amount of time is going to go into building your website. Needless to say, the only thing that's different is the products you're selling and the price you type in. So it takes just as long to put up a website selling cheap items as expensive items. And the same amount of time goes into setting up your traffic sources. Later on in this program, I'm going to go through all of my traffic sources and how you can implement them. And obviously, it takes just as long to set up your accounts for a website that sells cheap products as expensive products. So what's the difference? Well, let's say your average sales price is $7, right? You put up a couple stores, you start getting 10 sales a day at $7. Your daily gross revenue is $70, right? Your net profit, when drop shipping, I usually see around 30% net profit with the suppliers I work with, but on the low end, I'm going to use 20% here as an example. So with this example, you're making $14 a day. That's terrible. I wouldn't process one order for that. It's not worth it at all. This is why I say to sell expensive product. Okay, so let's say your product sale price is $700, right? You do 10 sales a day at the $700 average order value. Now your daily gross revenue is $7,000 compared to that 70. Let's say that same, low end 20% net profit. Well, guess what? You just made $1,400 in a day doing the same exact amount of work as you did for the website that you made $14 on. And there's no magic here. There's no science here. You should just always sell expensive products. There's like no two ways around it. I don't see any reason to get involved with these cheap niches that are usually the ones that people first think of and they just want to get involved with. Sell expensive products. I can't hit that home, and like I can't think of another way to say it. Just go expensive. It's the way to do it. It's where the money's made. It's where drop shipping works. So what's my pricing criteria then, right? I say my average product price should always be $200 or greater. The reason I say that is because, like in that last example, I gave a 20% profit margin. I always want to make at least $40 for processing an order. Now, it's ridiculously easy to do this, to process the orders. If you do it manually, you can do it in a couple minutes per order. But I still want to make at least $40 every time I'm processing an order, which is why I really limit my low-end pricing to be around $200. I also say that the average product price should be $1,000 or less. But I want to be very clear here. There is an exception, and it's a big exception. I say the product pricing can be much higher if you're going to offer phone support, and I highly recommend offering phone support and getting into these more expensive niches or getting into higher priced products within a niche. So don't just only limit yourself to $1,000 or less. If you really, let's say you're from another country and you're not comfortable with the phone and you want to just get sales kind of without doing any, call answering, then okay, stick to less than $1,000. But once you get to about $1,000 and over, customers want to start calling in to place orders. If someone's going to find a random website, which let's face it, yours will be, and they find an item they want to buy, there's a very good chance they're going to want to call in, if only to place their order over the phone. My advice is don't be scared of the phone, because most of the time when someone calls, all they say is, "Hi, I just wanted to make sure you're a real company. I found your website. I like this item. I'd like to place an order. Can I do it over the phone?" It's so easy to do, and you'll make so much more money. People always ask me, like, if you had to start over, right, and make as much money as possible within a year, what would you do? I tell them I would sell expensive items and I would sit next to the phone, because once you're doing this, every call you miss is a potential, $1,000 plus sale, which is $200 or more lost that you could have made. So I highly recommend offering the phone number, and I highly recommend selling more expensive items. Now, what if you have a job? What if you're in school? What if you can't answer the phone? It's not that big of a deal, honestly. This is what I recommend. Get a number online that will forward to your cell phone, right? So hopefully you can answer it. If you can't, have a generic voicemail recorded. A lot of people use Fiverr for voice over gigs, and they'll have just like a very generic voicemail. I'm just saying, thank you for calling mystore.com. All of our operators are currently busy. If you leave your name, number, and question, someone will contact you as soon as possible. So that way, whenever you get maybe a break from your job, or when you finish up with school, or you finish up whatever you're doing, you could check your voicemails and return the customer's call and still close that sale. So that's really my pricing criteria. Again, I want to make at least $40 every sale, so I'm going $200 or more. If you're not going to offer phone support, try to keep it under $1,000. If you're comfortable on the phone, which I think there's no reason not to be, then don't limit yourself in terms of pricing. Customers that call in don't want to harass you. They want to give you money basically. So answer them and get that money. The next thing I'm going to talk about in niche selection is target market, right? So who do you want to be selling to? I keep saying that our goal is to create an automated business, because the reason for doing this for me personally, why I got involved with e-commerce, is so I could have more freedom with my time. So I didn't have to be at a computer all day. So I didn't have to be in an office. So we want to choose niches to sell to where the customers don't really want to haggle us, where they don't want to call in every 5 minutes asking us questions. So that's why there's a certain type of market that I found to target. So what type of customers do we want? We want customers with disposable income. We want customers who are comfortable placing orders over the internet. And we want customers who do not require personalized attention. So, what I mean with disposable income, obviously, is we don't want someone that's strapped for cash that has to borrow money from a friend or from family or, take out a new payday loan to buy from us. That's not what we're looking for. We want someone that has money to spend and that's looking to spend it online. We also want people who are used to placing orders over the internet and don't have to call in because maybe they're afraid to place an order online. They don't want to give their credit card number to a website. We don't want that type of customer. Again, if the customer is going to be spending more money, I'm totally fine with taking phone calls. But in general, we don't want to sell to, let's say, senior citizens who aren't comfortable ordering online, that want to call, just to check up on their order every day and to try to place their order over the phone for a $200 item. We don't want that. So here's how I'm going to break it down. Like I said, there's a million ways to break down target markets. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to break it down to the upper middle class, the wealthy, and the lower class. Those are going to be the three market segments that I talk about in this course. So I'm going to start off with the lower class, right? And what I'm going to say about these customers are that they're the ones who shop at the lower end within a niche. This would be the customer who bought a $99 futon online instead of a quality $1,200 leather couch. Nothing wrong with buying those cheap items. I understand not everyone has a lot of extra money to spend, but we don't want to be the one that sells to the guy that's buying the $99 futon instead. We don't want them at all because they're the hagglers. If someone's spending, half their paycheck or they're spending, money on credit, they want a good deal. And they're probably going to be calling in, trying to get better deals, emailing you. They're going to want discounts on items that are already ridiculously cheap and items that the profit margins aren't that great on. They're also going to lead to more complaints. When people that don't have a lot of money spend a decent amount of money online, and remember, I'm talking about items that are $200 or more. So to someone who doesn't have a lot of money, if they buy something online for, let's say, $500, and it's not everything they expected in the world plus more, they're going to be complaining about it. And it's also going to lead to more returns because, like I said, this money to the lower class is a lot, which, I totally get it. It makes sense, and they should want a lot for their money, but they expect the world. And usually when you're buying at the lower end within a niche, the quality just isn't there. You could imagine if someone's buying a cheap futon instead of an expensive leather couch, what's it going to be like? If they're looking online and bargain shopping and then trying to get a discount from you, they're not going to get the best item in the world, and they're probably going to want to return it, or they're at least going to complain about it. So stay away from this niche. We don't want headaches. We want profits. We want automation. Stay away from products that appeal to this market. Next, I'm going to talk about the wealthy, right? So products that appeal to the wealthy include luxury items and or extremely high-priced sub-niches of main niches. So an example of that would be selling crystal chandeliers online as opposed to a floor lamp. We do not want to sell to the people buying these, $10,000 crystal chandeliers. The reason why is that it requires much more personalized attention. You're going to get calls from them. They're probably going to say they want their husband or wife to call you, or their assistant to call you, or their contractor to call you. And it leads to this huge pre-selling process that doesn't always convert. Of course, when it converts, it's great. But from my experience, the amount of time that goes into pre-selling versus conversions versus returns, because this niche also returns a lot of items, it's just not worth it. I want to stay away from it. So who does that leave us with? Who does that make the ideal market? In my mind, from my experience, it is the upper middle class. I define the upper middle class as single people or families with an annual household income of $100,000 or more a year with disposable income. Again, I'm using that word disposable income, people that have extra money to spend. These are the people we want as our customers. The reason we want them is because they're already used to placing orders online. They don't require a lot of personalized attention. They don't need huge excessive discounts to influence their conversions. These are the people that are going to go online. They're going to know what they want. And if they find it on your website, they're probably going to buy it. I'm going to show you how to make your website optimized for conversions later on in this program. But remember, these people are the ones that when they find something they want online, they buy it. That's it. That's who we want to sell to. Now, the last thing I'm going to speak about in niche selection is selling for generic brands. Okay, now this is so important also. So many people, when they first start thinking of e-commerce, they want to sell online, they want to sell products online, they think of products like this, right? iPads, digital cameras, flat screen TVs, Xbox, the newest video game systems, computers. They think of all these huge brand name products, and the reason you automatically think of them is because these are the companies who advertise to you all day long. And we can't even think about this, guys. Don't even consider selling anything like this. If it's dominated by a big brand, if it's sold in big box stores, stay away from it. So what I mean is, if you can go to Walmart and buy it, if you can go to Target and buy it, we don't want to sell it. Stay away from big brands. So what does that leave us with? What types of products can we sell? I personally think we should sell products that customers would be comfortable buying from any manufacturer. So things that big brands aren't, pumping money into, saying that you can only buy from our brand, that our brand's the best. We don't want to sell in those niches. We want to sell in niches where, customers are fine with whatever brand, whatever manufacturer. We want to sell products that don't have a few main manufacturers who spend hundreds of millions of dollars every single year trying to get customers to choose them. So very generic brands. So I know it's like hard just for me saying this to really picture it. So I'm going to give a couple examples. And just so you know, I don't think you should actually take these examples and use them for your new website. The reason is, you're not the only members of Dropship Lifestyle, and I'm sure other people have tried to do it, and it's just going to lead to more competition. So let me get into it though, just so you can see the examples and understand why they meet the niche selection criteria. So the first one, okay, it's going to be stand-up paddle boards. Now, this niche is perfect because it has an average cost of over $700, right there in a target price range. It appeals to the upper middle class. If you think about it, someone in a lower income bracket is not going to be spending $700 to $1,500 online on a new stand-up paddle board that they can use a few times a year. It appeals perfectly to our market. Also, customers have no brand loyalty. Think about it. If you wanted one of these, is there a certain brand that would just pop into your head like, oh, I better get this new Anton's company paddleboard? No, you go online. If you find one that, has some decent reviews and the price is right, you're going to buy it. It's a great product to sell online. It would be a great niche, and use this type of criteria when brainstorming your own examples. And I'll give you one more example. Let's say, a new family moves into a house and it has this chandelier in it, right? They say, oh, it's disgusting. Let's get rid of it. We want to replace the chandelier. Now, the first thing they're going to do is probably go to, a Home Depot or a Lowe's that sells chandeliers. And this is very important. So when I say with niche selection, we want to sell for products that aren't sold in big box stores, what I really mean is brands that are sold in big box stores. So let's say someone goes in there, they go into Home Depot or Lowe's and they look around for chandeliers. And maybe they find, I don't know, 50 of them on display, but they can't find the exact one they want. They don't see anything that really, meets what they were looking for. It's not what they envisioned in their head. Well, the next thing they're going to do is go home, get on Google, and do a search for an entryway chandelier, let's say, right? Well, this is perfect because it's an item that a customer really doesn't care what brand they're buying. They might go locally to look at it, but they can't always find what they want locally, and that's huge. That's really important. It's something that they don't need. They're not going to Home Depot or Lowe's because they know what brand they want and they want to go find that one. They're going there because they know they could find one locally. But maybe when they get there, like I said, they don't have the exact style they wanted. So they go online, they do a Google search, and they find your store. This is perfect because the average cost for these items is over $200. It appeals to the upper middle class, and customers have no brand loyalty. Another example of a great product to sell online. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this module. Now it's time for you guys to take action. I want you to brainstorm and make lists of as many products that you could think of that meet our criteria for pricing, target market, generic brands. Now, remember, you can watch this video as many times as you want, and I'm also going to include notes underneath so you could read through in case you need any refreshers on any of these points. And just open a new Word document, take out your phone and start a new note. Get a pen and paper, whatever you have to do. Start brainstorming ideas. I want you, before you move on to module 2, to think of at least 50 of them. That may sound like a lot. It's not. Some people have emailed me that came up with 500 niches on the first day. So all you have to do is 50 for now, but I think you should do as many as you could think of. Take notes, really start thinking about this. So now that you know what kind of criteria to look for, you're probably wondering how you're going to think of these niches. How are you going to brainstorm niche ideas? Well, things that I do are just think of things that I've bought online. Just ask yourself, what have you bought online, in the past 10 years? And since you've had the internet, just make a list of things that you've already purchased. Also, ask friends and family what they've bought online. Even put up a post on Facebook or a tweet. Say just wondering what everyone's bought online that's cost over $200. Message me, and you'll get a pretty good list just that way. Also, think about what your hobbies are. Do you do anything where people buy expensive items within that hobby? It'll already be very niche, and maybe you'll find yourself a little market that's not totally saturated. That would be great. Something else I do is go to websites like Amazon and eBay and just go to items that are extremely high priced. And, we're not doing this to find suppliers or anything like that. And again, we're not going to be competing with eBay or Amazon. But all this is doing is planting the seeds in our head of what niches could be good. And remember, we're going to write down all these niches. And then in the next stage, in module 2, I'm going to show you how to actually do market research and find which of these niches, will do well online, to take your huge list that I want you to make now and how to turn it into a more condensed list of websites that really should work and that should make you some money. So spend a lot of time on this, put together a list of at least 50 niches, and then once you're ready, click over to module 2, market research, and I'll see you guys there. Thank you. Welcome to module 2 of Dropship Lifestyle. This module is titled Market Research. In this module, we're going to work on identifying our future competition, extracting suppliers from our competitors' websites, and building our own master list of suppliers. This master list of suppliers will be our point of reference for the rest of our business's lifetime. What that means is with this master list that we're going to figure out how to build, whenever we want to add new products to our website, all we have to do is reference our own list, find suppliers we haven't been in contact with or haven't been approved with yet, and reach out to them. Now, it's important that you don't start on this module until you've completed module 1. This module will not work for you unless you already have your preliminary list of products that you brainstormed in module 1. If you haven't done that yet, please go back to module 1, rewatch the video, read the notes, and make your list. Once you've completed it, please come back here, and I'm going to teach you exactly how we're going to find our future competitors and suppliers. Now, you may ask, how do we find the competition? Well, we're going to do this by using Google to find online retailers in our niches who do not have showrooms or retail stores. Now, that's important because many different dropshippers won't work with companies that don't have retail locations. We obviously are not planning on having a retail location, so we need to find dropshippers who work with companies that do not have retail locations. So we're going to do this by going on Google, finding competitors, and going to their About Us pages. When we go to their About Us pages, we're going to try to find websites that do not have retail stores. We'll know that those are our competition. It's also important that these websites sell for multiple brands. Now, the reason that's important is because that's what we want to do. We want to start a website that sells for multiple brands that does not have a showroom. So we're going to do this by finding websites that already do exactly what we want to do. And right now I'm going to jump over to Google and I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. Okay, guys, you'll see I have Google open here. What I'm going to do to identify the future competition is give a real-world example. So in Module 1, one of the examples of a good product to sell online that I gave would be a chandelier. So I'm going to pretend that on our list that we created in Module 1, that was one of the items. So now it's time to research that specific item. So this is all I do. I'll go to Google, and I'll just do a search for it. Entryway chandelier, okay? Now here are my results. Now this is what I do. I look through the whole first page of results and I try to find websites, again, that do not have retail stores that sell from multiple manufacturers. So this is how I first find my competition. And this includes, when I go through the first page, I do go to the sponsored results. You'll see here the ads section, because a lot of times the companies that are advertising are retailers. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to go to the first one. Okay, now I'm on their page, and obviously we could tell it's a retail store. They have, it's a retail online store, I should say. We don't know if they have a store yet, but they sell the chandeliers that I'm looking to sell. The price point exactly where we wanted to. They appeal to the right market. So I'm going to, oh look, quick ship in stock. Okay, I'm just going through the different features that I see on the side already. And let me see, here you go, brand. These are different brands that they sell for, okay? Look at this list. Wow, that's a lot. These are all different brands, folks, that this company sells for. So that's great. That's a great start because now I know that they meet at least one of our requirements for competition, which is they sell multiple brands. Now I want to see if they have a retail store. So the way I usually do this is by going to the company's About Us page. The way you can find an About Us page, it's typically in the footer of a company's website. So the footer is at the very bottom. So I'm down here in the footer. And here it is, under helpful links, their About Us page. So let me go to that. Okay, let me say this company, This is where you have to do a little reading on your own and, kind of make your own decisions. But I'm reading here that this company is owned by Allied Trade Group, so a bigger group of stores. They own over 500 different websites. Well, that's good to know because we can most likely find suppliers in different niches if we go to their 500 websites. They sell for over 3 million products. Okay. Okay, I see here they have a corporate office, which is fine. It's probably because they need employees to manage all their stores, but it says nothing about a showroom or retail store. Okay, that's great, folks. What that means to me is that this company specializes in drop shipping. I see nothing about a warehouse. I see nothing about retail stores. This is great news. This is perfect for us. Now, it doesn't mean that 100%, they are a drop shipper, that they sell for drop suppliers, but from my experience, there is a very, very, very good chance. So we're going to keep going with this one. And remember, this is the first website we found in this niche. So this is what I do now. This is kind of step 2 in the market research process. You want to find out who this company sells for, who their suppliers are. Now, the way you could do this is typically, again, go to the footer. Again, it's in different spots and different websites, but you want to find a page called either brands or manufacturers. So I'm going to go back to their footer, and then I see right here, look at this, under helpful links, there's a page called brands. Now, what this is going to be are the brands that this company sells for. So let me click that. Okay, perfect. Now I'm on this page, and look at this. They have it all here alphabetized for me. Wow, just in A alone, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, okay. So they have almost 60 drop shippers just that start with the letter A alone. This is amazing. This is an amazing, amazing list. If you go through it, look at this. Now, again, I don't know for a fact that all these companies are drop shippers, but based on my experience and based on the criteria we're using, there's a very, very good chance that they're all drop shippers, and if not, the majority by far are. So what we're going to do now, this is step 3 of market research, is build our master list. Now below this video, there'll be a link that says market research, build your master list. I want you to click that video, and what it's going to do is open an Excel sheet, and I'll show you how that's going to look right now. Okay guys, I just opened up the sample master list template. Now, if you don't have Microsoft Excel, that's fine. You can use Google Documents. It's free, and they have a spreadsheet program that'll do exactly the same thing that I'm going to do here. But basically, I just wanted to show you how simple this really is. I make a simple spreadsheet that has a few columns: supplier name, supplier website, date of contact, contact person, and notes. Now, in this part, in the market research part, we're not going to worry about the supplier website. We're not going to contact anyone. So these columns will all be left blank. But what we want to do now is fill in the supplier name with possible suppliers for our niche. Now remember, this project we're working on is for chandeliers and home lighting. So what I'm going to do now is refer back to the website with the suppliers, and I'll show you. Here it is. And what I'm going to start doing is taking these different names, and I'm going to copy and paste them into my sheet of master suppliers. So I'll just go through them. You can do it one by one. Maybe you have it automated. But what we're going to do is just fill out this list. And let me just do this for a while, and then I'll come back to it, and I'll show you how it looks. So I'll show you here how we're going to make this list. I'll start with A, and I'm just going to go and I'm going to highlight it all. I'm going to copy everything. And then I'm going to go back to my Excel sheet. And what I'm going to do is just under supplier name, boom. Look at this, folks. I already have over 50 suppliers, possible dropship suppliers. Now, eventually, once we start reaching out to these dropship suppliers, I'm going to go back to Google, and I'm going to do Google search for all these different supplier names, and I'm going to try to find the supplier websites. So I don't want to just go, like, these are all right now, they link to the retailer. I don't want to go to the retailer. I already found the retailer. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do Google search for A19, and then I will find their website, and I'll show you how I do it. Again, I'll just copy that, and I'll come back here, and then I'll go to Google again, and then I'll search for it. A19, it's lighting company, so I'll go to A19 lighting, and here we go. Now I'm on their website, and this is the company that the retailer I found sells for. Perfect. Now what do I want to do? I want to contact this company. Now we're not up to that yet, but once we get there, I'll explain to you exactly how I get their contact information, which obviously it's not hard to contact us, but I'll explain to you what you should say when you do contact them. But you see how easy that is, folks. Within about a few minutes, I've already found the competitors' websites, I've made my list of suppliers, and I've already found one of the suppliers' websites, the first one I even tried. So I just want to show you how we'll keep doing this because this was only, remember, this was a manufacturer, a dropship supplier I found off of one website. So I want to show you how we find more competitors because one is, it's good, but there's a lot more out there. So I'm going to go back to Google and I'm going to redo that original search for the entryway chandelier. Okay, and you can tell that this was the first one I went to. So now I'm going to go to the second result in the Google search results. You see this website looks very similar to the first one we went to, but it's a different website, it's a different competitor. Again, let me see. I do think that this is a drop shipper because their website, I can just tell by the way their website looks from my years of experience. But here, look, brands. Okay, these are all the brands that this company sells for. So now let's do the check to see if they have a retail store or not. Go to their footer. Remember, I'm going to look for their About Us page. There it is. Okay. Says you could shop from on their website from the comfort of your home. What that tells me is they don't have a store. I'm going to keep looking. They're owned by a bigger company called Build, but nothing about a retail showroom. Look, in top internet retailer. Perfect. They're a drop shipper, folks. So now, again, what do we want to do? The second step, we want to find their brands or manufacturers page. So let me look through their links for that. And remember, it's not always in the same spot, so it's not always like, oh, look in the footer, it'll be right there. Sometimes you have to do a little searching. Sometimes they link it from their homepage. So what I'm going to do here, oh, here you go, brands, right up top. This time it's in the header. You see at the bottom, view all brands. So let me go to that. Perfect. Okay, guys, look at this. The left side here, these are all the brands sold on the website. So remember what I'm going to do. They have to go in my master list of suppliers now. I'm going to highlight it. I'll highlight this entire list. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to my master list here. And remember, I only did A's so far on the other website, but I just want to show you how I do this. And then I'm going to paste it. Look at this. Just more and more suppliers in my master list. So now, what this means to me, guys, literally after 5 minutes of research for one keyword that I thought of on my first list for Module 1, for one of the keywords, I've already found hundreds and hundreds of suppliers that dropship. We don't know 100% yet, but the odds are very high that they dropship. I've already done this within just a few minutes. So what this means to me on a project like this, when I see these kinds of numbers, I'm going to go full steam ahead. I'm going to move on to Module 3, which is creating my website. The reason you have to do that is because before you start going and contacting all of these companies directly and saying, hey, I want to sell your products, you need to have a website already in place so that the suppliers know that you're serious about doing business. You can't just call them and say, oh, I think I'm going to start a website. Can I sell your products? No, you have to call them and tell them, listen, I have this website. I want you to check it out. I want to sell your products. I think I could bring you a lot of business. You have to sell yourself to them, and just calling and saying you want to sell their products isn't selling yourself to them. So what I'm going to discuss in Module 3 now is how to build this website yourself for free, and then how to reach out to them. We'll discuss that in future modules and how to start getting approved for accounts. But I hope this was all clear to you. I hope it makes sense that literally within just a few minutes, you can go from item that you made in Module 1 on your list and turn it into a master supplier list like this. And by the way, keep these unique for each niche that you thought of. So in Module 1, if lighting was only one of your niches, keep this master list. This is your lighting master list. Then if the next product you had was paddle boards, like the example I gave, make that your next list. Make it a different file. Make it a different shared document in Google. Keep them all separate, but keep them all. So you'll have these master lists of suppliers that you can use on the future steps of this training course. Now it's time for you to take action. What I want you to do is get out that list that you made in Module 1 of all your possible niches and start seeking out competition. Go on Google just like I did, search for these specific products that you brainstormed, and try to find competitors. Now, it's important to note that not every niche you thought of will have competitors, and that's most likely because there aren't dropshippers in that category, and most likely because it's items that don't sell well online. So if you made a list of maybe 20 different niches in Module 1, and you find only one or two that have competitors, that's fine. Don't get discouraged. Run with the ones you have. We don't want to get held up on business ideas that don't work and on products that don't sell well online, because remember, for the purpose of this course, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to find businesses that already work and duplicate what they're doing. So again, your task right now is to make master lists of suppliers based on every niche that you found in Module 1. Now, once you're done with that, we can move on to Module 3. And if you have any questions or you get held up at any point in the meantime, feel free to watch this video as many times as needed. See exactly how I just did what I want you to do. And feel free to read through the notes below too. They're very useful as a training tool to go along with this video. And if you have any questions, jump in the forums, talk to me, talk to the members. We're here to help. We want to see you succeed. Once you're done with this master list, move on to module 3.
Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make an online Shopify store like the one you see here. Now this store is a demo store, it only has around 20 products on it, and I'm going to be teaching you how to make a very similar store. The purpose of this is for you to use this store to email the suppliers that you want to get approved with. They can see what you're all about, what your website looks like, and then once you get approved and upload their products, the goal is to start making sales. Now, the goal of this video is to teach you how to make a visually appealing, highly converting website. So now let's jump in to what it looks like when you sign on to your Shopify account. So this is your Shopify dashboard page, and it kind of gives you just a little bit of an overview of everything on your page. What we want to do when we first get started is go over here and jump into our settings. Now this is where, down this whole side here, is where you'll put in all your store information. And it differs between every single person, but you'll want to go through, you'll want to set up your checkout, shipping, go through, set taxes for your hometown or wherever you're going to have your store from, and so on. After you're all done with that, you're going to go back to your dashboard page, and you're going to want to go down to themes and over to visit the theme store. Now, this is a very, very vital part of your website. Basically, this is what your customers are going to see. It's a template designed by Shopify that you're going to be able to edit and focus towards your target market. So what I typically suggest if this is your first store is going over and clicking the free Shopify themes. Now this is a great way to get your theme, your website up and running with a theme that's you don't have to put any money into and invest more in. So you go through, you can click each one. Say we want to click this first one, solo. So you click it, it gives you a little bit of overview. If you click view demo, it'll bring you to a page that you can look at and see a store that's running in this. So what we're going to do for this one is we're going to use Couture for this Shopify store. Now, every single store, depending on what you're selling, is going to be different. So what we're selling right now is we're going to make the chandeliers, and we're going to want something that's classy, that's targeted to women in their 40s, maybe in their late 30s, women who own a house. So you're going to want to look through those and pick the theme that best fits your niche. So in our case, we're going to use Couture. So you would just click Get Theme. We already have it downloaded, of course, but if you wanted a new one, you just click Get Theme. It'll download to your store, and then you'll just follow it this way. Now, the first thing I like to do when I download my theme is add collections. So you might be saying, why am I adding collections when I don't even have products on my website yet? And now the reason I do this, when you make a new collection, so I'll show right here, add collection, right? Creating a new collection. Say we want to do this nice example up here, 100 under $100, right? So you can type in a description if you want, upload an image if you want. I don't think you need to do that, and I have never done it on my website, but it could be good for SEO, all right? So then what I want to show here is when you click automatically select products based on conditions. Now this I would want to do before, so I knew the conditions to upload my products with. So that's why I typically do collections first. Now you may be wondering, how do I decide what my collections are going to be? And if you followed Anton's videos in the past, you'll see that you basically took information from your competitors' websites to make your website. Now you may want to take their collections or get ideas from their collections. And it's usually a good way to keep your stuff organized, knowing a proven method that works. So now that we know this collection is going to be under $100, you're going to want to go into product title, and then product price is less than $100. Now down here, a page title, it already gives you a page title, it already gives you your URL and handle. What you're going to want to do is add a meta description, and this is great for SEO. And then we're going to want to go up and we're going to want to save this new collection. Save successfully, great. And we're going to want to go back to collections, and now we see our new collection with the product conditions. So now I went through and I made all of these earlier, and you can see we have some of them that have conditions in which the products are uploaded themselves right here. And then we also have collections that don't have product conditions, and you have to manually upload your products here. Now, this is time consuming, and I don't generally suggest you doing it. So I suggest when you make your collections from the get-go, set them up with conditions, because if you don't set them up with conditions when you make them, then you have to delete that collection and re-upload a new collection, make a new collection, and set it up with the conditions. So I highly suggest when you first set it up to do conditions. So take your time getting your product collection set up, and once you're finished with that, it's time to upload your products. So you go right here to products, and like you can see, I already have around 20 or so products uploaded that I've done beforehand, because this is very time consuming. And if you sat here and watched this video of me uploading these, you'd exit out right away. So to upload a new product, one product at a time, you go over here to add a product and you click. So what I suggest doing, and what Anton suggests doing, is taking this information from one of your competitors' websites. So what we'll do right now is we're going to open up a competitor's website. So say we go into chandeliers, and we find Lighting Universe, our biggest competitor, or soon to be biggest competitor. So we see a product we like, something that's pretty, that you think that the suppliers will say, oh, that's a nice product that they're going to have on their website. So we find it, we find all the information right here, and basically what we do is we copy and paste it into our website. Now, if there's specifics that you can tell that they changed the information from that they have there, obviously make sure that lightinguniverse.com isn't somewhere in the product description. But you go through and you just follow the prompts, add everything correctly, make sure that your product images are as high quality as possible. I can't stress that enough, because you're going to want a zoom feature on your website, and you're going to want your customers to come and be able to say, you know, that's beautiful, I can tell it's high quality. You're not going to be able to see that through a low quality fuzzy image. So you're going to go through, add it to collections. If you listen to what I said earlier and your collections all have conditions, then you don't have to worry about this step, which I find fantastic. Then you're going to want to go through and you want to use some tags. Another way that you can organize and put things into collections are through product tags. You're going to want to edit all your search engine optimization information, and then you just go over here once you're finished and click save. Now, that takes a while. So I suggest doing that when you're uploading your demo products. But when you actually have your information from your supplier, they could send you a CSV, or you could have to pull the information from their website. But then I suggest importing a CSV. Now, importing a CSV can be difficult and can be complicated if you don't like Excel, or you're just not good at it, say. So what you want to do is you're going to want to open a new web page, and you're just going to Google uploading a CSV into Shopify. And anytime that you Google anything about Shopify, type Shopify in, and you'll get your information right away. So you're going to want to come to this page like I just showed you, and you're going to just want to follow the step-by-step instruction on how to upload and create a proper CSV, a proper formatted CSV. So now that you have your products uploaded, you're going to want to create your pages, or your content pages. Now you can see here I created other content pages that were not originally on my Shopify store. So Shopify gives you a welcome page and an about us page, typically. But what you're going to want to do is add a price guarantee page, a shipping and delivery page, a returns and exchanges page, a product guarantee page, and a contact us page. Now you could get all of this information and page content from Anton's website. He gives templates that you can upload and edit what you need on your own website, or you can create your own. Certainly look at your competitors and make sure that your return policies and things like that work with your supplier's policies, but also your competitors' policies as well. You don't want them to have a 30-day no questions asked return policy, and you have a 7-day return policy that's only for certain items. So you want to make sure that you create these pages and your content is relevant and competitive. So to do this, you just add page, type in all your information, and click save, and you have a new page. So now we get to the actual designing of your website. Now you're going to be editing the pre-designed template that you downloaded from Shopify's theme store. This is the actual designing of your website. See, making your website look like what the customers are going to see and have it apply as best as possible to your niche and to your target market. Now, to edit this theme, we're going to go over to themes and we're going to go up to theme settings. Now, it's important to note that all of this information you see is going to be different depending on the theme you downloaded. So we downloaded Couture, and that's going to have a different set of prompts to answer and to edit than, say, the solo theme that we talked about. And I want to make that known because if you follow these steps exactly, it's not going to be the same unless you download the Couture theme. So the first question this asks is if we want to use our own custom logo. We're going to say yes to that, but now we have to worry about making it. If you look at Enlightened Chandeliers, we have a very simple, elegant logo. So we have the Enlightened Chandeliers in a serif font, and then a simple half chandelier logo, an image to remind your customers of what you're selling. So what we did while designing this is we thought of brands that sell other brands. So you think of Best Buy, you think of Amazon. Now they have very simple, just straight to the point logos, and it's not going to confuse anybody, and it's going to be something that they can remember. So I suggest that you guys make logos like this, like just the name of your store, and keep it simple. So ours is targeting women in their 30s, 40s who are going to be buying chandeliers for, say, their newly purchased house or a new upgrade for their lighting. Now, depending on what you're going to sell, you're going to want to make your logo fit best with your niche as possible. So if you're a 25-year-old guy selling these chandeliers, you're not going to make a logo that's going to be trying to target 25-year-old men because that's not who's going to be buying. So it's always very important to make sure your logo targets your market. So now you may be wondering, how do I make my logo? Now I use Photoshop, but it's extremely expensive, so I don't recommend that to people starting out. If you have a Mac, there's a great app called the Pixelmator, and it's only $29.99. So I highly suggest buying that if you have a Mac. And if you don't, and you have a PC or you don't want to spend the money, you can use Pixlr, Pixlr.com, and it's a free online app where you can use to edit your pictures. Now, I highly suggest that when you make these images, you delete your background layer and you just use a text layer, and then you save it as a PNG, .png. Now, that'll make it so that you don't have a white or black background around this image. It just gently flows from the background to your picture. So you may be asking, what dimensions do I make my logo? Now, occasionally it will say that over in this area, but like in this example, it doesn't. So what you're going to want to do is when you first create your website, go to the actual website, not your Shopify store, but go to the actual website like you see here and say this was the original logo from when you first downloaded your theme. Just click it and drag it over to your desktop, or however you want to save it. You can do two-finger click and then save, and then use the dimensions that it gave you. You want to make sure that your logo is horizontal and that doesn't drag all your information here down, because your logo comes down to here and you can't actually see what you're selling when you first come to your website. So really make sure your logo is horizontal and doesn't push your website down. Now for the colors of your logo, you can always decide your color scheme of your entire website when you're first making your logo, or you can wait until you finish the rest of your website and then come back and use the color scheme to make an appropriate logo. So whether you decided to make your logo now or you're going to make it after you make the rest of your website, we're going to continue down the list. So main menu link list is going to be our top navigation. So you can see here, this is our top navigation. And you may be saying, where does it get that information from? So now I'm going to take you over into navigation and show you how it's done. Now, creating a navigation can kind of be confusing for some, so I'm going to go through this as slow as I possibly can. So when you first come into navigation, this page is going to be empty. I've created all of this so that we could have a functional website. But when you first come in, it's going to say main menu, and it's going to have a few options for drop downs. But if you remember, I created all of these pages in my collections category, so all of these weren't here when we originally downloaded our theme. So when we create our main menu, see, this is home, this should be there already. And then we're going to have a section with all chandeliers, traditional chandeliers, and it continues on. Now, if you look at all chandeliers, and then you come down here to another link list, we have another section that says all chandeliers. Now, under this on our drop-down navigation is going to be on our top navigation is going to be this drop down menu. So if you look at our website, under all chandeliers, we have another link list. So here's a link list, and then we added another link list to all chandeliers. But if you notice, traditional is just one, doesn't have a drop down menu and you can just click it. Just like under here, we don't have another link list that says traditional. So again, we have our main menu, our top navigation, and then we also have a drop down menu that has the same name, it's typed the same way as in our main menu. Now, like I said earlier, you're already going to have a main menu, or you're going to have one of these link lists already shown when you download your theme. So what you're going to want to do to edit this link list is come down over here to edit link list, and then you can, so here's the name of your link list. It already automatically creates a handle, and then you add another link. You can click, say we want to add another link, and let's just delete and make the same one. So we add another link and we want to name it top nav. I don't know why, but say we want to add a collection. So it gives you options here. This is important. So you can pick if you want your blog on your top navigation, you click blog and then you select linking it to a blog. Or if you want to do collection and have a certain collection like we have up here linked. Or if you could do a specific product, you could do a page like your contact us page and so on. So you click that, you say we want to add a collection top nav, and then, or we could even do under 100. Let's do that. Under 100, and then save, and now that will be on the top of our website, included in the top nav. So it's saved. Now you can just delete things like that, and you can drop and drag to move them around. So now say we want to create a whole new link list. So obviously these have been created already. So if you want to create a whole new link list, say you want to create a new drop-down menu, and say we want to make a drop-down menu for under 100. We'll do add link list, and we'll do under 100, and then and then you can add anything you really want here, and that will be a drop-down menu. So if you made this a specific product, like shop by price, say you made here shop by price, then you can do different shop by prices and then have a drop-down menu of that, and then you would just click save. So again, we have our main menu, our top navigation, and then we also have a drop-down menu that has the same name, it's typed the same way as in our main menu. So again, this can be kind of confusing, especially if I'm just speaking about it on the computer. So if you need to read this to kind of get a better idea, we can open up we can go into Shopify and we can type in navigation, and then we can follow a Shopify doc of how exactly to make your navigation and how to make drop-down menus, and you can click through each one of these things and it'll tell you exactly how to do it. And that's definitely a great way to make sure that you have all of your website properly linked together. So I'm just going to quickly X out of there and come back into themes, again, theme settings, and we'll start working down. So now we finished with our general theme options and we're going to open colors. Now you may be saying, what do I possibly do for colors? Notice ours are all black for this website, and that's because we wanted an elegant, sleek, simple website, because that's what the kind of person who likes chandeliers also enjoys. Now, say you sell surfboards, you might want blues and cool, vibrant colors. But you may get to this section and say, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know colors. So there's a great website, Adobe Color, Kuler, and it's going to give you pre-made templates, different color schemes that you could use for your website, and just go through it with your friends and family. Say, hey guys, what would sell, say, surfboards? What would sell chandeliers better than my competitor's website? Now, I want to also let you guys know that this may seem very straightforward. Text color, you pick a text color, link color, you pick a link color, but I want you each time to go through these. Every time you change one, make sure you go to your actual website and see if say this black text color is accidentally sometimes overlaying a black image and you're not going to see the text. So every time you go back and forth, make sure that these colors stand out, they're vibrant, make sure your header doesn't have the same two colors that you can't really read your top navigation. Make sure everything stands out and make sure you're choosing the colors that best fit your niche. It's really, really important. So once you get your color scheme down, we're going to want to close colors and now open up typefaces. So typefaces is going to be your font. So with chandeliers, we chose a font that had, it was a serif font, which means when you look at a font and they have those little lines off of them, off of say the top of the sides of a T and the bottom of a T, that's a serif font. And then a sans serif font is the fonts that are very simple and plain and they're kind of bubbly seeming because they don't have the classic serif markings. And these options look different from theme to theme, so it may not look exactly like this. You're going to have different font options, but basically it's important that you can read the fonts and that they have a clear purpose to your website. Don't just choose a bubbly, cartoony font if you're selling something serious. And if you're selling kids' toys, don't choose Times New Roman. Think of something cartoony and bubbly. It's not the most important thing, but it is going to add to your website. So next up is navigation settings, and that's our top navigation. So you just can choose your font size. I say I like it at bigger, but make sure that it fits on the page and it doesn't make, say, 2 lines of your top navigation. You kind of want to make sure that if you're going to have a bigger font, you have less options for your top navigation and it stays in that 1 line. And you go through again, color scheme, and make sure that you keep it all fitting with your niche market. Now our home page. So again, we have our front page collection is bestsellers, our homepage banner. That's important. That's what this is right here. That's our homepage banner. Now it asks if on this specific theme, it asks if we want to have a slider of products, which would just have our product images going over. No slider at all. I always suggest having a slider, and in our case, we're going to choose a slideshow of our custom images. So we're going to skip this because that's asking if we want to use a collection and we're going to use our own images. I suggest having a longer slideshow time because if it's shorter, it's going to distract the customer. It's going to be flashing before their eyes. So I always choose the longest, 8 seconds. So your banner prompt will always give you the dimensions of how wide to make it. Sometimes it'll give you the height as well, or sometimes you could make it whatever height you want, but it will always give you the width to make your images. So again, use those options, the either Photoshop, Pixelmator, or Pixlr to create these. And now this is quite important for many reasons. The first being that this is the main image they see when they come to your website. It literally is the make or break point, in my opinion, if they're going to stay or leave. So if you can see on this image, we used an actual image, not just say this. We didn't just use a picture on a white background. It looks like a stock photo. So you want to pick a photo that's going to have people using your product. So if you have a child's toy, having kids playing with the product with it in a nice, fun, bright colored room, or a surfboard, you have a guy surfing, an action shot. So you always want to have the image not just be on a plain colored background, not just like thrown in there like you don't care about your website. And the second main point is you want to have a clear call to action. So what does this image want you to do? Do you want to look at contemporary and model chandeliers? Shop now. And what's great about Shopify is they make it clickable. So you go to the actual product page where then the customer can decide to buy. So going back to our home page, you can see that we have 3 different sliders, and you can edit all of these right in here. And you just upload the files, and you can save them as JPEGs or PNGs. I always suggest saving things as PNGs because they're a smaller file, so your website loads quicker. And then to link it, you add, like I showed you earlier that it's linked, you would put /collections, and then contemporary, which is the name of our collection. You can copy this out of collections. You can copy this, so I'll show you really quickly. Collections, and then we want to see contemporary and modern lighting, and that's right down here. And you could just copy that and notice that it also says collection, so make sure you type that in as well. But we want to have that typed in correctly. And always check this after you set it up. That's not the right place. Always check and make sure that it's linked correctly, because you don't want the customer to go to a page that can't be found. Now, when it asks for alt text, that's usually asking for text that the computer can read and not the person. So if you just want to type in contemporary and modern lighting, then you just save it as that, and that saves, and that's just so that the computer can read it. So you go through and you click only the ones that you want to be shown, and make sure you save your information. Now that we've finished this, we're going to go back over to themes, back into theme settings, and back down to product page. Now this is a simple product page section. Some of them are bigger. You have more options. So product image position, we're going to have to the left of our information. And I suggest always having your image to the left and not to the right, because then you're going to have text and your image further down the page. So you want the image to be your center of attention. So having anything towards the left side of the screen will have more attention to it. And then your description position, we're going to have below the buy now button, because the higher your buy now button, the more opportunity there is to be in the screen when you first get onto that screen, and you don't have to search for the buy it now button. Your call to action button or your buy it button should be your main thing on your website. That's, you don't want somebody to not be able to find it. So always make sure that it's at the top of the screen. Now if we go into collection page, display product tags, like I said earlier while we were making our products, you can add tags, and that's just another way to organize and collect your products so that your customer can find them easily. So we're going to display them so that it makes it easier for the customer to find. And then display product title and product price below as a caption. Sure, we'll do that too. Doesn't really matter, it's all your preference. So footer. Now this is separate from normal footers, because this gives us 4 footer options. So if you look at our website and you scroll to the footer, there's 4 different drop downs, 4 different navigations. So that's why when we first went into navigation and you saw why I had so many navigations here, and they were so small, there was only 2 things in each, I created those so that when people come to the bottom of my website, they say, oh, look, this is about us and this is search, then shopping information, and it makes it clearly very easy and organized for the customers to see. So I created those. You can go back to see how to create a link lister again, look at that Shopify doc, but that's how I did it for those. And then when you go back in to footer, you'll see that I have them organized. Now, payment methods, this is what you'll accept. So your customer can see it before they go into the shopping cart. So sure, we'll accept this stuff, Google Wallet, no, no, and Bitcoin, no. So we'll save that, and then at the bottom of our website, we have what we accept and make it easier for the customers to see. Social media is next, and that's relatively straightforward. You just link your social media account. So if we had a Facebook account for Enlightened Chandeliers, we would just add our names in the end and save, and then we would have an easy way for our customers to go from our website to see our social media and see our fans and things like that. That is the last thing that you'll want to do under your themes settings, because advanced settings aren't necessary and layout settings aren't necessary. So as long as you have all of this stuff done and saved, you are finished with your themes. It's important to note that in the Couture theme, it didn't give us a prompt in our settings to add a favicon. Want to know what a favicon is? That's just the little image that's 16 pixels by 16 pixels next to your website domain name. Now it's very simple to add this if it doesn't give you a prompt on your theme. So you open up a new tab and you type Shopify add favicon. Add a favicon to my website, and you follow this article right here. Now it's very simple. I'll show you. You go into themes, and you're going to go into theme template editor. So themes template editor. Now you're going to make an image that's 16 pixels by 16 pixels. You're going to go into assets, and you're going to go into add new assets, choose file, find that file, and save it. So we have ours right here. Here's our favicon. And we're just going to click choose and save. Now I already have it saved, so I'm not going to do it because I've already added it to this website. But you'll find it down here under favicon, and I saved it as a PNG, and that's what you're going to want to save your favicon as. Now once you have your favicon saved under assets, You're going to go back here and you are going to find this piece of code right here. And you're saying, oh, no code. Don't worry, you're just copying and pasting. So we're going to want to copy it. And we are going to want to go into Layouts, Theme Liquid. And then, if you see right here, I already have it pasted, but you put it right under your head, right in there. And you just paste it right in. I'll repaste it just to show you how simple, and save. Now, the next time we go to our website, we will have a favicon saved. So before I end this video, I just want to quickly show you some great apps that Shopify has in their app store that can help you take your store from a great store to a fantastic store, to optimize your store with free apps that are going to save you time, money, and bring in customers. So here are the stores I suggest: Chimpified, Concierge, Facebook Store, Hello Bar, Shopify Variant Images, Yotpo, MetaTagger, Abandon App, Plugin SEO, Simple Order Status, Retail Tower, and Zopim. So these apps are free or under $5 a month, and they're totally worth it to help you optimize your store and beat out the competition. All you need to do is visit the App Store, type them in, upload them, follow the prompts, and you're good to go. So if you just watched this video and thought to yourself, there's no way I can do that, or I simply don't want to do that, Anton has a great web design service that he offers. Email him, find out some options, and have a great website designed specifically for you and your niche. If you decide you want to do it yourself and work on this, you get stuck on anything, all you have to do is Google it with Shopify in front. So Shopify, how to add a favicon, and you're going to get a Google Doc that tells you how to do it. If you get stuck and there's no answer to your question, there's amazing Shopify forums that you can ask your question and have a Shopify guru answer within a few days. If you want to talk to people in Anton's forums, it's a great way to help other beginners, learn from other beginners, and share your ideas and thoughts. Or if you get really, really stuck, email Anton and he can help you find a solution. So once you finish everything I just showed you, your store is ready to go. Now it's time to contact suppliers, get approved for dropshipping accounts, upload products, get traffic, and start selling.
Welcome to Module 4 of Dropship Lifestyle. This module is titled Getting Approved with Suppliers. Now, it's important to note that not every dropshipper will approve you for an account. Can't take it personally, it's just part of the business. All dropshippers have different terms, and they all are looking for different things from their retailers. Some of them will only work with retail stores who have a certain traffic ranking already in place. Some of them are looking for stores that can guarantee X amount of business per year, but that's okay, because there are still plenty of dropshippers that'll take you on in the beginning, and once you start to really get some good sales going with them and start to make some real money and get traffic, these other dropshippers will start actually coming to you. So you have to get the ball rolling. You have to get approved for as many accounts as possible in the beginning. And then as your traffic's coming in, as your sales come in, it'll be much easier to get approved with whoever you want. So what are dropshippers looking for? That's where I want to start with this, because it's important for you to know before you start contacting them what they're looking for in their retailers. Now, we as the sellers are their retailers, and they as the dropshippers are our suppliers. So when you pick up the phone, when you call them, what do they want to hear? Who are they looking for people to have new accounts? They want retailers with a website already in place. Now, this is what I explained in Module 3, how to create your own website. It's very important that the dropship supplier can see that you're legitimate. They can see that you have a business already. They can go to your website. They can browse around. They can see how their items will look on it if they approve you for an account. They're looking for retailers who can clearly define how they will bring in sales. Now, this is important because every time a dropship supplier approves someone for an account, it takes up some of their time. They have to talk to you on the phone. They have to assign you a sales rep. They have to put together a product CSV, which is basically their product catalog for you to upload on your website. And they have to assign you the customer service rep to answer your questions in the future. So if they're going to take you on as a retailer, they want to know how you're going to bring sales to their company. Now, if you have no e-commerce experience, can't, that's absolutely fine. Before you start contacting them, I want you to go into Module 6 of this training course, which is called Getting Traffic, and just go through some of the traffic generation methods that we use. And once you go through the videos there, you'll learn how you will be able to bring them sales and how you'll be able to bring them traffic. And this way, when you do contact them, if they ask you, how will you increase our business, you'll have answers for them. You won't just say, I want to sell your products. You'll say, I'm going to use methods X, Y, and Z to bring in sales and bring up your total earnings. That is the dropshipper's earnings. You want to be able to convince them that you're going to increase their business. And with the methods I'm going to teach you in Module 6, you certainly will be able to. So what else are they looking for? They're looking for retailers who have excellent customer service. What this means is if a customer places an order with you for that dropshipper's product, that dropshipper wants to know that you are going to give your customer the best customer service possible. Now, this is very important, and it's sometimes overlooked by us as retailers, but every time a dropshipper gives us an account, every time they approve us for an account, they're basically putting their trust in us that we're going to take care of the customers. Because if we sell for, let's say, supplier ABC, that's their name, and we get 100 sales of their products, and then we just don't respond to our customers, we ship the items late, we don't answer any questions, any follow-up questions they have, and we basically ignore them, well, guess what? The customer who bought that product is going to go back to supplier ABC, and they're going to complain. And supplier A, B, and C, the drop shippers, they're not looking for headaches. They're just like us. They're looking for a nice, smooth business. They want us as retailers to be able to sell their products and offer our customers great customer service. So it's important when you do get on the phone with them and you start talking to them about why you should be approved for an account, you tell them that customer service is a priority of yours, and more importantly, you make it a priority of yours once you start doing business. Now, you may think, okay, so I have a clear understanding of how I should talk to them to tell them I'm going to bring in sales. I know I have to tell them I have excellent customer service. I already have my website in place for me to show them, but how do I get their contact information? What do I do? Well, on this point, we're going to refer back to that master list of suppliers that we had made previously in this course in Module 2, and we're going to start finding their contact information. So I'm going to switch right now to a screen share, and I'm going to show you exactly how we'll use our master supplier list to start getting dropshippers information. Okay, everyone, you'll see now I have my master template open, my master list of suppliers. This was the list that we made in Module 2 that had a list of all potential dropshippers that we found in our niche. Now, what I'm going to do is start trying to find these manufacturers' websites, and then I'm going to actually start contacting them. So I'll start from the top. I'll start at the first supplier I have here, and all I'll do is I'll come here and I'll copy the name, the supplier's name, and then I'm going to go to Google. Now, here I am at my Google homepage, and I'm going to search for the company, and I know it's a lighting company because lighting's the niche we're working with here. So I'll click A19 Lighting, and I'll search. Now, here you see A19 Lighting on sale, and another one, A19 Lighting, but these are subsections of other websites, meaning that these are retailers. So we don't want to go to a retailer site. We're looking for A19 site themselves for the actual manufacturer's page. So if you see here the first organic result, a-19.com, that to me looks like a manufacturer's website. It's not, ylighting.com/A19. It's not lightinguniverse.com. It's A19.com. There's a good chance that this is the dropship supplier. So what I'll do now is I'll go to their website, and here you go. This is the company. I mean, this is them. Here you have a price quote, download our catalog where you could buy their products. So again, they're a manufacturer, they're a drop shipper. That's perfect. So we want to contact them, right? How are we going to do it? So I always recommend calling if you can. If you can get on the phone with a drop shipper, you don't need to hard sell yourself or anything like that. It's just that emails get lost a lot of the time, and they might not get direct to the right person. If you call any company, any drop shipper, and you simply say, hi, my name is so-and-so from so-and-so website. I found your product line. I think it would be great to add on my website in addition to my products. I was wondering who I should speak to about that. They're going to put you on the phone with the right person 9 out of 10 times. And if they don't, it's because that person's either away or busy, and they're going to tell you who you should contact. So please, if you can, by all means, contact them by phone first. So let's see, sometimes you can't. Sometimes they don't have a phone number listed, and you have to email them. In that case, if you go to Module 4 in the 4-Hour Millionaires member section, I'll show you the scripts I use when I email them as well. But again, if you can call them. So here's how I'm going to try to find a number. I'll go to their Contact Us page. They make it pretty simple on us. And what do they have? They have a contact form, but you could also see they have a phone number right here. So here you go, an 800 number. So if I was looking to get approved with this company, that's what I would do right now. I would call them at this number, and I would simply say, hi, my name is Anton. I'm calling from mylightingstore.com. I'm
I found your product line online and I think it looks great. I would love to add your products to my collection. I was hoping you guys offer drop shipping and I was wondering who I should speak to about that. That's literally all you have to say. They'll put you in contact with the right person. Then you could tell them same thing. My name is so and so from so and so website. I would love it if you can go on and have a look at it. We'd really like to add your product line, and I was wondering what I have to do. Now, the beauty is, once you get in touch with the right person, it's very simple to get approved. All they'll do, from my experience, and of course every company is different, every dropshipper is different, but for the majority of the time, they'll simply send you a form about a page or so long that'll ask for your company name, your business, your business name, your phone number, your email address. It'll just ask very basic questions about your business. You fill that out, you send it back to them as soon as possible. Then once you're approved, they'll assign you an account manager. Now, once you have this account manager, you ask them for their product catalog that you can upload on your website. So it's not a hard process at all. It's just a matter of getting in touch with the right person. And again, this was the first supplier from our list we looked at, and that's how you would do it. Now, here's how I keep notes, because we're going to be reaching out to lots of suppliers here. The goal is to have as many products for sale on our websites as possible, because more products equals more money, basically. It equals more sales, which equals more profit for us. So what I'm going to do now, I see the website, is a-19.com. So I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go back to my master supplier list, and I'm going to put it here next to the supplier name. I'll put it in the supplier website. Also, the date of contact. You put in whatever date you first reach out to them, whoever you called, and then you enter the contact person, whoever you spoke to, whoever was in charge of dropshipping for that company. And then in notes, you could say whatever happened on that phone call. Maybe they told you that they were going to email you the form to fill out to get approved. So you write in the notes, whoever I spoke to told me that they were going to email me the form by Friday of this week. And this way you can always keep up to date and make sure that you stay on top of things, because you don't want to get behind. You don't want to leave out any suppliers. You don't want it to be your fault that you're not getting approved. Do everything you can to make sure that you're giving yourself the best chance to get approved. And the best way to do that is by keeping excellent notes. So that was the first company. That was A19. So at this point, let's say I called them. I spoke to whoever it was, John Smith at the company, and he told me he was going to email me the forms to get approved. Great. Now it's my job to keep moving down my list. So I'm going to go to the next one, AA Importing. So I'm going to go back to Google here. I can leave this website, and I'm going to search for it. Okay, I see AA Importing. It's the first website that comes up in the organic results. So let me go to their website. Looks like it's a flash page, so it's loading. A little slow. I'll click into it. Okay, perfect. Now I'm on their website. Here you go. Home, products, flyers, locations, request a catalog. Guys, I just found another drop shipper. This is perfect. So what do I want to do? I want to contact them same way I just contacted the first company. So I'm going to look for a Contact Us tab. Very simple. Here it is in the bottom right. Contact Us. Perfect. They have their hours and they even have a phone number. So I'm going to call just like I called the last company. I'm going to ask to speak to the person in charge of drop shipping. I'm going to tell them what my website is, and I'm going to tell them that I'd like to sell their products. I'm going to add their website to my master supplier list. I'll add the date of contact, who I spoke to, and what happened. And it's this simple, folks. And I'll do one more for you. I'll do the next one just so you can see that it's not hard to find these companies. So the fourth one I have here, or the third one I have, excuse me, is Access Lighting. So let me come back to Google. I'll search for them. Here you go. First organic results, accesslighting.com. Dealer locator, rep locator. Perfect. They're a manufacturer. So I'm going to click Contact Us. Again, a phone number. I mean, this is great, guys. All you have to do is go through this list that you created, this master list that you created on your own in Module 2. Keep adding suppliers to it. Keep contacting them. Remember, call. If there's a phone number, you call them. If not, go into Module 3. Module 4, get the email script and send them an email. But if there's a phone number, just keep calling them, take good notes. As soon as they send you these forms to get approved for accounts, this is important. Let's say I speak to A19 first, right? And he tells me he'll send me a form, whoever I speak to. And then I'm calling and I'm talking to, the second company and the third company and the fourth company. As soon as the first form comes in to apply for an account, fill it out ASAP. We don't want to delay, because the sooner you get forms back, the sooner you're going to get approved for accounts, the sooner you can list their products, the sooner you can get sales. So continue to work your way down the list. Don't stop, but always reply to the applications with them completed as soon as you can. It's going to greatly increase our chances of getting approved, and it's going to get us to profitability sooner. And of course, that's our goal. Now, it is important to also note that some suppliers may tell you, well, we're not interested at this time, we're not accepting any new retailers, and that's okay. Sometimes they're really not. Sometimes dropshippers will only have maybe 10 online retailers at a time. And if that's the case, if they tell you that, simply ask them when they will be accepting new retailers, if they know when. And if they do, you mark it in your notes and stay on top of it. Whenever that date comes to reality, contact them again and say, hi, my name is so and so. I contacted you back on whatever date, and you said you'd be accepting new retailers on this date, and I'm willing to apply for an account. And what's great is they'll see that you're persistent with them, and your chances of getting approved are much higher. So even at first, if you start with a list of, I mean, this is a very good example, but let's say you have 500 potential dropshippers. Let's say you only get approved with a fifth of them. If you only get approved for 100 accounts. That's enough to build such a huge business, and that's what I want you to realize. You don't need to get approved with every company you call. You don't need to get discouraged if someone tells you no. You can build huge businesses if you only get approved with a fraction of the drop shippers. So obviously try your best to get approved with as many as possible. Stay on top of them and follow up with them once you do apply, but don't feel discouraged if not everyone is approving you. You can have a huge business with only a small approval percentage. So always work for the maximum, work to get approved with 100, but don't be discouraged if you don't get that. You'll still make a lot of money. It's still very possible to use these techniques and bring in tons of sales for only a few suppliers. Okay, everyone, so here are some tips to really boost your approval ratings. Now remember, I've discussed this already, but always call if possible. If you have someone on the phone with you and you speak to them before submitting your application, you're much more likely to get approved. If they know you're a real person, they hear your voice, they talk to you on the phone, there's a good chance you're going to get approved. Second thing is always select prepay on your applications. Now, what that means is some dropshippers give their retailers the option to apply for credit with them, meaning if I sell $10,000 of merchandise for that dropshipper in a month, I wouldn't have to pay them until maybe the last day of the month. This can be good, but dropshippers don't like to extend credit. They offer it most likely for their big time retailers, for the companies that sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of their product a month, but they don't like to approve new accounts, people they don't know, and give them credit. So it's always best to select prepay. What prepay means doesn't mean you have to just give them a bunch of money up front. It means if you get your first order, and let's say it costs $300 from the dropship supplier, you'll pay them before they ship it. So basically, your customer will go to your website, they'll buy this item for $400. Then you tell your dropshipper, I need this item. They'll say, okay, give me $300. Then you pay them that money. That's prepaying. So this is the best way to do business, and this will significantly boost your approval ratings. So remember, always select prepay. If it doesn't even offer that option and it says credit terms you're applying for in the application, write down prepay. This will help you immensely. Next thing to boost your approval ratings is sending back applications right away. As soon as they come in, if someone takes the time out of their day to send you your application to send back to them, it means they're thinking about you. It means they're alert. It means they're focusing on that part of their business for that day. So once you get that right back to them. If the quicker the better. Fill it out, give them all the information they asked for, send it right back, and say, what are the next steps? I'm looking to move forward. They'll appreciate it. They'll be in the right mindset. You'll get approved faster. Also, follow up after applying. If a day goes by, 2 days, 3 days, and you don't hear anything, just send an email to whoever you sent the application to and say, I sent it back. I'm just hoping I gave you enough information. Do you have any other questions for me? Do you want me to call in? How can I help? And they like to see that you're active, and if you are, it means they're going to be too. So if you're following up with them, they're going to take the time to get back to you. So always follow up after applying. Now it's your turn to take action. So what do I want you to do? Before you move on to Module 5, you should try to get approved with at least 3 dropship suppliers. Now, I'm hoping you have many, many, many suppliers on your master list. So there's a good chance you can get approved with a lot more than 3. And if you want to just keep going and getting approved and getting approved and getting approved before you move on, that's fine too. But some of you are going to want to go ahead and get your website completed and up on shopping websites to start getting traffic and sales. So if you're going to do that, just please get approved with at least 3 drop shippers and make sure you have their products uploaded to your store before you move on to Module 5. So to get approved, follow the plan, follow everything I just taught you. Now, how are you going to have their products uploaded to your store? Now, this is where things can be complicated, but could also be very simple. The way Shopify and many online store customer management systems work is they give you the option to do a bulk upload, basically to take a CSV file, which could either be a Google shared document or a Microsoft Excel file that you click File, Save As, and save as a .csv file, which has all the product information already preloaded in it. So what we're looking for when we're talking to our dropship supplier account managers, which are assigned after you get approved, we're going to ask them, do you have an Excel sheet or do you have a CSV of all of your company's products? Now, 9 out of 10 times they will. And once they send this to you, you'll have to make sure it's formatted correctly for Shopify. So the way you do that is go into Training Module 3 and go into the Uploading Products section, and it'll explain to you exactly how it should be formatted so that you can get these products uploaded to your store correctly. Now, when you're first getting started with this, if you have no experience, it may seem like very overwhelming. It may seem confusing. Please just go to the links in Module 3. They'll show you exactly how to do it. If you do have questions, if you do need assistance, again, our service team can help you. Just simply click the service tab, submit a ticket, let us know what you need help with. But once you get the hang of this, you can literally take a new supplier's CSV with 10,000 products, if they have 10,000 products, and you can upload them all to your store within minutes. It's really that easy once you get the hang of it. You just have to know how to format these files, and you kind of have to be comfortable with Microsoft Excel or a similar spreadsheet program. If you're not, we can help, but if you are comfortable, please go to Module 3, the Upload Product video, and you'll learn how to do this yourself. Okay, so now once you have your store completed and you have at least 3 suppliers up, you can move forward. You can move forward to Module 5, which is optimizing your website for conversions. Now, another important thing I'll just bring up, even if you get those first 3 suppliers and you have them up on your website and you move on with the course and to the point that you start bringing in sales, don't stop there. The more suppliers you upload, the more suppliers you get approved with, the more traffic you're going to get, the more sales you're going to bring in, the more money you're going to make. So I recommend at least 3 to bring your store live, to start advertising it, to start optimizing it for conversions. But please, even if you continue moving forward with only 3 suppliers, once you get up and running and you're bringing in sales, please go back to your master supplier list and just keep moving ahead. Get approved with as many suppliers as you can. That's our goal here. The more accounts, the better, the more money we'll make. All right, I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, please click the support tab, get in touch with me, go to the forums, ask myself and other members. We're all here to help. And if not, I'll see you in Module 5 and we'll start optimizing your new website to convert as many visitors to buyers as possible. I'll see you there.
Welcome to Module 5 of Dropship Lifestyle. This module is titled Optimizing for Conversions.
Now you may think, how great would it be just to have 100,000 unique visitors a month? How great would it be to have 10,000 people visit my website every day? And that's a mistake a lot of us make when first starting out. It's all about traffic. We just think the more visitors, the better, the more sales we'll have. Well, that's not true. We're not just looking for traffic, because traffic really means nothing if we cannot convert the traffic into buyers. So again, if you could have 100,000 unique visitors a month, it's meaningless if they're not making you any money. And in e-commerce, in our business, the only way we make money is by getting orders, by having customers buy, which is to convert them into buyers. So it's our goal, whether we have 1 visitor a day or 1,000 visitors a day, to get them to buy while they're on our website. Now, it's always my goal to do everything I possibly can to have the customer choose my website if they're really a buyer. So now what does that mean? Some people are just online and they're just maybe comparison shopping or looking for something to buy that they might need, in 6 months down the line, maybe a year down the line, but they're not really going to buy. The people that I'm talking about converting into buyers are people that are going online for a specific reason. They're going to their computer, they're sitting down, they're opening up their web browser, and it's their goal that day to make a purchase online. These people, once they're on our website, we have to convert them into buyers with us. We can't let them leave. We can't let them find other websites and, possibly like the way another website looks better, or maybe just randomly land on one and place an order. It's our job, if they find us, to get them to buy from us. So how are we going to do this? I use 2 techniques. I use content, which builds trusts. I also stress urgency, which basically forces the customer to make a decision. And I don't like to use the word forcing, because if they don't want to buy, I don't want them to have to buy from me. I'm not hard selling them, but I am offering them a certain promotion for a limited time. So if they are serious about buying, then they're going to buy from me. Not because I'm forcing them to actually buy something, but because I'm forcing them to make the only logical decision, which would be left with the promotions I offer them, which would be to buy from my company. So the way we're going to do this with content is by adding the About Us page, the price guarantee page, and the shipping and returns policy page, which I did speak about earlier and which I did instruct you to add onto your website. Now, in this module, in Module 5, I'm going to explain to you why that actually works, and I'm going to get into detail about it. I'm also going to explain how I stress urgency, and I'm going to show you these all with real-world examples. I'll start by showing you the content pages. So what I'll do now is switch screens, and then I'll give you some real-world examples. So if you remember, in Module 3, I instructed you how to add the About Us page, the Shipping and Returns Policies page, and the Price Guarantee page, and I told you that I would explain it to you later. Well, now I'm going to explain why each of these 3 policies will help build trust with our customers, and more importantly, will help optimize our sites for conversions. You'll see in Shopify that all 3 of these links are in our header as well as our sidebar. But what's even more important is since they're in our header, customers will see them no matter where they are on our website. And it's very important that any buyers, and there's a difference between a visitor and a buyer. A buyer is someone that actually is coming on a website to make a purchase, someone that you have a chance of converting. Obviously, you can't convert 100% of your visitors into buyers because some people are just in the early stages of looking around. Some people are just comparison shopping. But we're looking to convert the people that really do want to buy, and we want to give them every reason to buy from us. So before people actually take out their credit cards and place orders online, they're looking for a few things. They want to know who they're buying from. That's where the About Us page comes in handy. So what we put here, as I described earlier, you just put a little bit about your website. You could put where you're based, and you could put that you do have offices nationwide if you're using multiple drop shippers that are shipping from multiple locations. That's why I always put that, because I don't just ship from one place. I ship from all over the country. So I use offices that are throughout the nation. It's also important to put what your product niche is, who you ship with, and where you do business, and also how long you've been around. If you're new, you may not want to say we just were established, but it also doesn't hurt in the same respect to say the month and date that you were established and what part of the country you're from. People like to see this. They like to know who they're going to buy from. It also doesn't hurt to put a contact phone number in the About Us section if you are willing to offer phone support. The next thing that customers need to know before they buy, I don't know anyone that will place an order online before they know about how the item will ship and what will happen if they want to return it. You must have a shipping and returns policy. I recommend you use my standard shipping and returns policy. You'll see it right here. But first, read through it to make sure that the terms work with your dropship suppliers. What I do in this section of the website is basically describe from the time the customer places their order to the time their item gets delivered what's going to happen. You see, what's important about this is we don't want to leave anything up to the customer's imagination. We don't want them to have any false conceptions about what's going to happen. We want to make it as clear as possible every step of this process so that they don't have any questions for you before they place their order. Remember, this course is called the 4-Hour Millionaires. We're trying to do work in as little time possible. If you do the work ahead of time and you answer basically your FAQs in your shipping and returns policy pages, customers will not ask questions prior to buying. They'll place their orders, they'll know what to expect, they won't have to ever contact you, and your whole business will run much smoother. So I'll give you a brief walkthrough. You can read through this on your own. But how I start is with the order confirmation. What's going to happen when the customer places their order? They're going to receive an automated confirmation email. This happens through the store. You don't have to set this up. Shopify will do this for you. What happens after that? If their item is in stock, their charge will be processed and their order will be prepared for shipment. What happens when it ships? We're going to notify the customer within 24 hours of the item leaving their warehouse. This helps because you don't need customers emailing you all the time saying, oh, when's my order going to ship? Did it ship yet? No. When it ships, they know they're going to get their tracking number. This is one less question for you to answer for every customer. Another thing, what happens? Customers always want to know. Some people are afraid of items shipping in the mail. What happens if it arrives damaged? We tell them simply, mark it on the delivery receipt that it was damaged, and send us an email. We'll take care of it. We'll process the insurance claim on their behalf. Now, it's important to note, although I do say I'll process the insurance claim on the customer's behalf, it's actually the dropship suppliers that will be doing this. But the customer has to reach out to you first because you're basically their middleman. So just say what will happen if there's a damage. Now the customer no longer has that question in their mind. Okay, what happens if the customer places their order and then wants to cancel it? Well, you tell them right here. They don't have to guess about it. If they cancel their order after 48 hours of placing it, there's a $20 administration fee, even if the order hasn't shipped yet. So if a customer wants to cancel their order within 48 hours from placing it, they're subject to a $20 fee. And then if they want to cancel it once it's already shipped or once it's been delivered, they'll have to pay that $20 fee plus return shipping charges. So again, we make it very clear. Customers know exactly what to expect. That helps greatly with our conversion rates. Now, this price guarantee that I'm about to show you, you may think, well, I don't want to just guarantee I'm going to have the best price for something. Well, I'm going to tell you you basically have to have the best price, and I'm going to explain exactly why. It's not going to hurt your business, it's going to protect it. Now, what we're selling online, any items that we're selling, based on the way we found our suppliers, based on the way we found our drop shippers, they're all sold through these drop suppliers that have something called a MAP policy. Now, what MAP stands for is minimum advertised price. So what that means is any product that we get approved to sell for, that another retailer has been approved to sell for, it has to be sold at the same price online. Let me rephrase that. It can't be sold for less than a certain price online. So let's say the product, the MAP price is $200. No one could sell it for less than $200. If companies want to, they could sell it for $250, $300, $500, whatever they want, but no one could sell it less than $200. And the reason that dropship suppliers do this, put these policies in place, is to protect their brand and to make sure that their retailers are protected and making a certain profit margin. Now, if you remember, in Module 1, I discussed that the average profit margin in dropshipping is about 20%. This is where that 20% comes into play. It can be more if you want to try to mark up your items more, but I'll tell you, we don't want to do that. Most retailers are selling items at that MAP price, that minimum advertised price point, so we want to do the same. We're going to sell at MAP pricing. Now, how can we guarantee our price? If you read this price guarantee, it makes customers feel very comfortable. I'll read it to you. We work very hard to ensure that we offer the best prices online. If you find another online store that offers a lower price from us within 6 months of your purchase date, let us know and we will refund your original payment for the difference. Wow, so how great would that feel to you as a customer? You're online, you're shopping, maybe you're even comparison shopping, and you read this. If you place an order with this website and you find a better price within 6 months of placing your order, you're going to get that difference in the pricing back. That's amazing to customers. It instills so much confidence. It's going to make your conversion rates go through the roof. Now, how can you do that, you ask? Well, there are limitations. The customer, the buyer, must purchase the item from our website before requesting their price match guarantee. Promotions such as rebates and buy one get one free offers from other websites are not eligible for this price guarantee. The items must be in stock on the competitors' websites. The competitor must be an online store and they may not have a retail location. The website cannot be a discounter and or auction website. The competitor must be an authorized retailer for the product in question, and the price match guarantee for the item must include the shipping charges. It excludes sales tax. So these sets here, these limitations, will protect us 100% from customers trying to take advantage of this, from someone trying to undercut us. If the other competitor, which our customer finds, is an authorized retailer for the same products as us, they cannot sell lower than us, so no one's ever going to have to use a price guarantee. The thing is, the reason we have to put this on the website is that customers don't understand that. Most buyers don't know that products can only be sold for MAP policy, a minimum advertised price. So if I'm an online shopper, and in this case I'm looking for a chandelier, and I see it on this website, I find mylightingstore.com as the shopper, and I see it at a certain price, I always have in the back of my mind, well, maybe it's cheaper somewhere else. Maybe I can get a better deal. Well, the truth is, I can't. I don't know that as a customer, but I can't because everyone has to sell these items at the chandeliers at the same prices. But now that I see this price guarantee, I feel comfortable placing my order right now because even if I do, down the line, find a better price, it doesn't, I'm not concerned because I'll get my money back. So this is huge. It's not going to cost you any money. No one's ever going to get a price guarantee in effect unless you charge more than your minimum advertised price, but that's not what I teach, so you shouldn't be doing that. So if you use this policy, it will greatly increase your conversion rates, it'll greatly increase your trust from your customers, and you will not have to give money back to customers because you're already selling at the minimum advertised price, and your limitations protect you from customers that are abusing that policy. So I hope that helped explain why content helps build trust in customers. It gives them answers to their questions that they're going to have, and it makes them feel comfortable placing an order with our company. So please follow my About Us page template, use my shipping and returns page policies template, and use my price guarantee page template. Read through them, make sure they work for your business. They do work for all of my businesses, so they should apply to yours as well. The next thing I want to talk about is stressing urgency. So what does that mean? Now, there might be a lot of customers that are online, like I said, that are comparison shopping. They're going from website to website trying to find the best price. We've already discussed that they can't find a better price because you have to sell at MAP pricing. Now here is something I discovered that led to my sales rate almost doubling. you can sell at a price less than minimum advertised policy only if it's with a coupon code. So what minimum advertised price means is, let's say it's a $200 item on your website, on your product page, it can't say less than $200. So let me show this. Let's say the minimum advertised price for this product is $147. I can't change this to $120 because I'm comfortable making less money on each sale. I can't do that. The minimum I could advertise it for is that $147, okay? Now, I can give customers coupon codes, and that wouldn't change my advertised price, would it? I'm still advertising it at $147, but I can give a customer a coupon code that will take money off this. So this is a way to get around minimum advertised pricing, and it's a way to greatly increase your conversion rate. So I want to not only use coupon codes to convert more visitors into buyers, I want to use expiring coupon codes. So what that means is I want to give customers a deadline. If you want to save money, place your order by X date, or else this coupon code's expired. Now, this is great in making customers choose us over our competitors. If a customer comes to our website and sees we have this coupon code that, let's say, expires in a couple days, then they go to a competitor's website and they don't even have a coupon code, well, chances are we're going to get the sale, and chances are we're going to get the sale sooner than later because the customer doesn't want this code to expire. So the way I do this, the way I implement these coupon codes is through a free Shopify app called Hello Bar. So I'm going to show you how I install that right now. I'm going to go into my store admin panel, and then I'm going to come here into my apps. Now you see it says manage apps. I don't have any installed, so there's none there to manage, but there's also a get more apps button. Once I click that get more apps button, I get directed to my Shopify app store. And you'll see Shopify has a ton of apps that could be very useful in our business, but for the purpose of this course, there's simply not enough time to go through each and talk about how it could benefit you or not. I'll tell you, you don't need any of them to see the results that I'm going to teach you, but if you do ever want to go through them and, maybe experiment with them, it certainly wouldn't hurt. But what I'm looking for right now is the Hello Bar app. Let's see. I'm going to search for it to make it a little easier. Here it is, Hello Bar, and it's free. Like I said, it won't cost you a dime. So here I am. I'm going to click on Install App. Then it asks me, am I sure if I want to install it? Yes, I am. Okay, I can create an account, or I can log into my account. I'm going to create one. Again, it's free, so I'll just go through this quick process. Okay, link it to my Shopify. Okay, great. So now I can create a new Hello Bar. So again, I'm going to use this for coupons, for promotional codes. And the way I like to use promotional codes is to offer 10% off, and I make that coupon code expire every 3 days. What I do is every Wednesday night at midnight, I have a coupon code that expires, and then every Sunday night at midnight, I have another coupon code that expires. So I'm basically always offering 10% off, but I'm putting it on a schedule so that it will expire and customers will have to make a decision within a few days whether or not to proceed with their purchase. So here's how I'll do this. I'll call the title of it 10% off. I'm going to create it manually. Then I have to type in my message here. I will make it say save 10% on all orders. Use coupon code, and I'll make up a coupon code, save 10. Then I'll put offer expires at 12 a.m. Eastern time on then whatever date I want to use, whatever date would be within 3 days of the time I created this. Now, you could put a little link here if you want to. I don't even use that. It's not necessary for what we're using the Hello Bar for. So I'll just delete that. Now the link's gone. And then I will go to save. Okay, now check this out, guys. Right on top, across the whole screen, it says this: save 10% on all orders. Use coupon code SAVE10. Offer expires 12 a.m. Eastern time, and it has the date. Now, I think it looks ugly, right? Well, it does, but that's a good thing. We want it to stand out. We want it to be in customers' faces, and it is. And this is the best part about it. It stays with customers no matter what page they're on. So no matter where you are on this website, you're going to see that bar up there. You're going to know that there's a coupon code. You're going to know that it's about to expire. And you're going to know that you have to make a decision. If you want to save the 10%, you should place your order by this date. So this is a great, great tool to use to stress urgency. Again, I update it twice a week. I would recommend you do the same. It's going to increase your conversions, and it's going to take business directly from your competition, which is what we want to do. Remember, we set up our business to emulate what other businesses were already doing, and we're trying to do a better job and take their sales. This is going to get us their sales. You know, business really is war, and this is our technique to take other people's business from them. So follow this, install the Hello Bar, create coupon codes, and watch your conversions skyrocket. Okay guys, so you see in the Hello Bar, I use the coupon code SAVE10. I told customers that if they enter the coupon code SAVE10 at checkout, it's going to take 10% off their sale price. So let me show you how you actually implement that. What you would do is go into your admin panel, your Shopify admin panel, and you'll click on the promotions button here. Now once you're in there, you can add a discount code. So you click this link, and you can name your coupon. Remember my coupon code is named SAVE10, so I'll type that in there. Then you can choose what type of coupon it is. It's a percentage coupon in this case, and I'm willing to take 10% off all orders. And all I'm going to do is click Create Discount, and there it is. If a customer enters coupon code SAVE10 now at checkout, they're going to get 10% off their order. It's really that simple. And again, I'm going to make this coupon code expire 3 nights from now at midnight, and then I will create another coupon code and make that expire 3 nights from then, and I'll keep going on this. And I do change the coupon codes from time to time. Sometimes I'll experiment with 5% off, sometimes 7. I like to try different ones. 10 usually does convert the best, but I don't like it to always be 10, because even though 95% of your visitors on an e-commerce store will be first-time visitors, we still like to change things up and offer different customers different discounts. So at this point in Module 5, I've covered adding an About Us page, I've covered adding the shipping and returns policy page, I've covered the price guarantee, and I've covered stressing urgency. Now, it's optional, but you can also install something called TrustGuard on your website. The reason I say it's optional is because it does cost extra money. Now, I do personally recommend it if you can afford it, and if you're willing to spend a little bit more at first to make more, it's worth it. If you want to wait to see how your website converts and start getting some sales and then add it on later, that's fine too. But let me just show you what it is here. I'm not going to install it on the website since it is optional. What it basically is a badge that looks like one of these 3. What you do is you pay TrustGuard, the company. There's a link right here that goes to their website. You pay them, and then they pretty much verify your business. They verify that you are who you say you are. Once they do that, they give you the code for one of these badges. You take that code and you put it on your website, onto your Shopify store. Every day, this badge will automatically be updated. Where it says your site here, this will say whatever your domain name is, and it will have a date in the bottom corner. Now, if one of your customers clicks this badge, it'll take them to TrustGuard's website, which will have all the information on your website saying that you are a legitimate company, that you are verifiable, and that you're okay to do business with. Again, this is optional, but I would personally recommend it. I use these TrustGuards on all of my website. The reason it's optional is because there's a cost, but if you can afford it, it will increase your conversion rates. So if you can't afford it at first, put up your website, get a few sales in, and then reinvest that money in your business and sign up for it then, because it will definitely help. The last section in Module 5 is install Google Analytics. Now this is huge, and it won't increase your conversions, but what it will do is let you see what's converting for you and what's not. Google Analytics is free to install. All you have to do is go to the Google Analytics page and sign up for an account for free. And then you go to your account section in Shopify, and all you have to do is paste in your account number, and it will automatically start working for you. Now, what Google Analytics will allow you to do is track where all your traffic is coming from, and more importantly, it's going to track which traffic is converting into sales. Now, if you read this section in my notes, it's sad story that how I started. I was making a lot of money from early on, which isn't a bad thing, but I had these huge deposits coming in my account like crazy. And I always thought, okay, well, I'm making money. I should be spending money on advertising. So I tried every type of advertising. I was spending tons and tons of money, tens of thousands of dollars in and out of every month on advertising. And I had sales coming in, so I wasn't afraid to spend it. But then this is even before I figured out about Google Analytics, which is scary to think of now. But once I figured out how to use Google Analytics for conversion tracking and to see where my sales were coming from, I realized I was literally wasting over $10,000 a month on traffic that I did not have to spend. I was just blowing through money that should have been in my pocket. It was getting me traffic, but this traffic was bad traffic. It wasn't getting me sales. So again, Google Analytics is free to install. All you have to do to install it is sign up a Google Analytics page, take your account number, and paste it in your Shopify account page, and you will immediately start being able to see where all of your sales come from, and you can cut out any traffic sources that aren't working for you, and you can focus more on the ones that are working. So again, although it won't directly bring up sales, it will indirectly bring up sales because you'll see what traffic sources work for you, and you'll see how to capitalize on them and make more money off existing traffic. Okay, everyone, now it's time for you to take action. Before moving on to Module 6, you should make sure that all of your content pages are installed and visible to your customers. You should install the Hello Bar app and set up at least one expiring coupon code. You should also install Google Analytics, because remember, before we start sending traffic to our website, we want to know where this traffic is going to go once they get there and how it's going to convert. We want to know what sources of traffic are going to lead to sales, and we're going to capitalize on those traffic sources. So do these three things, and once you're done, this module is over. You can move on to Module 6, which is the fun part. We're going to start getting traffic and sending visitors to our websites. But remember, don't do this until your website's optimized to convert them into buyers. We don't want to waste time sending visitors to our store if it's not going to convert them. So feel free to watch this video as many times as possible. If you have any questions, go through the notes below it. There's some very detailed information in them. And if you have any questions, please jump on the forums, talk to myself, talk to other members. We're all here to help. And we look forward to seeing you in the next section, getting traffic. And we look forward to you starting to make some real money. We're almost there, guys. Keep going.
Welcome to Module 6 of Dropship Lifestyle. This module is titled Getting Traffic.
In this module, we're going to describe how to get traffic to your website. Now, this is obviously a huge step, but in order for the traffic to convert, you already must have completed the previous 5 modules. Everything else needs to be in place for this traffic to turn into sales. So please, if this is the first module you're watching, go back, take your time, however long it takes to go through the first 5 modules, then you can move on to here and we can start getting this traffic in place and more importantly, getting this traffic to convert into sales for you. So now there are many, many methods of generating traffic for e-commerce stores. If you go online and just maybe do a Google search for e-commerce marketing, you'll find dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of them. I think I've tried basically all of them. And for the purpose of this course, I'm going to describe the ones that have worked for me, the ones I continue to use, and the ones that bring me sales. And these are them. First of all, we have SEO. And then we have Google Shopping, we have thefind.com, we have Amazon product ads, and we have blog banner ads. Now, I'm going to go through each of these in detail because it's very important for you to understand how I use them and why they convert for me. And I'm going to start, obviously, with the first one. I'll start with SEO. Very important here. When you first put up a website, you automatically get put on these lists where SEO companies are going to come after you and they're going to tell you you need to hire them. They'll guarantee you page 1 rankings on Google. They guarantee their work. It's definitely going to work. Well, 9 out of 10 times, these companies are scams. They charge you way too much money for way too little work. You don't need them. They're not going to really benefit you. Most of the time, they'll end up hurting you. For SEO, we're only going to focus on on-page SEO. This is all free. These are all things you could do yourself. They're all things that I teach you in the creating your website section of this website that you will be doing without even realizing them. By using one of Shopify's templates and by uploading your products the way I teach you to upload your products, your site will automatically rank in Google. Does that mean you're going to be on page 1 for your niche keyword? No, it doesn't. What it means is your product pages will automatically be structured in a way that Google picks them up and ranks them high on page 1. So this is very important. We're not looking, in the way I teach and my methods, the way I do business, we are not looking to rank for extremely competitive keywords. We're not looking to rank for our niche's keyword, the main keyword. We're looking to rank our individual product pages. So what we want are all of our products to be on Google on page 1. And SEO, yes, it also refers to different search engines, but obviously Google has most of the market share. That's who we're focused on. So what we want is if a customer searches for product A, B, or C on our website, we want them to find the link for that product on Google back to our site, have them come to our site, and convert them into a buyer. So I'm going to talk about how I structure these pages and the little bit of backlinking I do to get my sites ranked. Okay, everyone, now I'm going to show you how Google Shopping works. But before I show you how to submit your products to Google Shopping, I'm going to show you how it looks to customers. If you see here, I'm just on the home page of Google, just generic googleshopping.com. There's no special shopping page to go to. Google actually takes their shopping merchants and lists their products directly on the search results pages. So I'm going to go back to the example I've been teaching this entire course with of an entryway chandelier. So again, just on the homepage of Google, I'll search for it. Now here are my first page results, okay? You see you have at first AdWords, these are sponsored ads, then you have the organic results, then to the right you have Google Shopping results. So all of these companies that are advertising here are our future competition and companies that we're going to be able to rank next to. It's this easy to get a ranking on page 1 of Google. All you have to do is choose the right keywords, upload your products to Google Shopping, and place your bids. Google Shopping was free until October of this year, 2012. They now charge, but what's great about it is you could set bids as low as 1 cent a click. So this is how you'll get ranked. Let's say entryway chandelier is one of your keywords, and you have a product that will show up for it. You'll either be in one of these top 4 if you bid high enough, or if you click here, shop for entryway chandeliers on Google, it'll bring this page up to the customer. What this page is a listing of everyone that uses Google Shopping, which will be including you even if you bid 1 cent per click. Now, customers will have the option on this page to search if they want to go to in-stock only, free shipping, new items, what the price range is, what brands they want it from. Now, it might look like a lot of work for you to set all of these options for each of your products, but you don't have to worry about that. Since we're using a Shopify store, Google is automatically going to pull all of this information from our store, and it's going to set this up for you. So there's no extra work for you. Your products will be able to be uploaded to this site just as easy as they would to put them on any other website, just as easy as they were to upload to your Shopify store. So how are we going to get here? How are we going to rank within these products? The first thing we have to do is set up a Google merchant account. Now, it's not a traditional merchant account in the sense that you'll be able to accept payments through it, but it's a Google Merchant Center account, which will let you list your products here. So to do that, we could simply go back to the homepage of Google, and we'll search for Google Merchant Center. Okay, so the website is google.com/merchants. You'll click that link and you'll have to sign up since you don't have an account yet. It's very simple. Again, this is free to sign up for. They'll charge you once you start bidding for clicks, but to sign up, it's absolutely free. So you'll come in here, you'll click sign up, you'll go through the whole process, and then once you have that done, you'll have to link your Google Merchant Center account to your Shopify store. So that's what I'll show you how to do now. Now, if you remember from my demo, the website that I built was called My Lighting Store. So now I'm back at that. You see it here. And what I'm going to do to link this to my Google Shopping account is go to my admin panel, and then I will go to apps. Now there's a free app that will automatically allow me to link my store to Google Shopping, which will import all of my store features to Google Shopping. To get that app, I'm going to go to apps, click get more apps, and then I'm going to search the App Store for an app called Retail Tower. So just type that in up top, hit enter. Let's see, they have it as one word. Okay, here it is, Retail Tower. So I'm going to click Install App, and then it's asking me permission. Is it okay to install Retail Tower on mylightingstore.com? I say yes it is. Install it. Perfect. So right now, it was that easy, guys. I'm already in my Retail Tower account, linked to my Shopify store. You'll see it here, welcome, has my web address. It's linked to my Shopify store. So the first thing I would want to do is import my inventory. So again, this is going to pull all of the inventory from my Shopify store to my Retail Tower account. I'm going to click this, and based on how many products you have, it'll take a different amount of time. Remember, this is only a test store. I only had a few products into it, so it's already completed it. It's already imported them all. Now, once this is done, you can use Retail Tower to manage different shopping feeds. What a shopping feed is basically all of your products combined into a data feed that has the product's title, description, image, price, add to cart link. It has all the information from your web store into one simple feed. We can use this feed to advertise our products across multiple sites, like I explained earlier, but for the purpose of this course, we're going to submit it to Google Shopping, to thefind.com, which is absolutely free, and to Amazon Shopping Ads. Now, I'm going to give you $75 free for Amazon Shopping Ads, so I recommend starting with that. If you see results, maybe you put more money into it. If you don't see conversions that make it worthwhile, then don't. But here's what we'll do. Click Create Campaigns, and we're going to start from a new feed. Click Submit, and see it gives you different channels. Now, all of these websites are different shopping feeds. We can go to Google Products, GoShopping.com, Bing, The Find, Sort Price. There's a ton of them, and if you want to, you could submit them to all the free ones because that obviously doesn't cost you anything. But from my experience, the only ones that really bring me sales are Google Shopping and The Find. Again, if you want to experiment with any of the other ones, you're free to do that. I recommend starting with Google Shopping and The Find, and then going from there to test out different campaigns on your own. So I'm going to click Google Shopping for free. I'm going to click Submit. And here you go. Here's my product feed. So now what I would want to do is save this feed. I'll save it as new campaign Google. And then I'm going to want to link this to my Google Merchant Center account. So to do this, I clicked on Dashboard and then I clicked on Connect Your Store. So remember, we're still working within Google here. So it shows here Google Product Search. Click here to connect your store. Click that tab, and then it says you're required to create a Google Merchant account if you don't already have one. We do. So we can go ahead and use the FTP method. We'll select this. Now our FTP username, password, and feed name, these are all created within our Google Merchant Center. So once you make that Google Merchant Center account, you'll be able to click on FTP settings and it will give you all this information. All you'll do is enter it here, then click Save Channel Details, and your products will automatically be submitted to Google every day. Now what's important is even though your feed will be submitted every day, since it's no longer free, your products won't be listed in the search results until you deposit money into your Google AdWords account. So inside your Google Merchant Center, there will be a section to deposit money into your Google AdWords account. If you don't have a lot of money to start with $10, start with $5, and bid for that 1 cent a click. You will see results. I have one website right now that brings in about $4,000 revenue a month that I'm experimenting with only penny cent clicks, and I think last month it was $10 and change. It was for a less expensive website, but it's converting. So that's all you have to bid. So get started with any money you have. I recommend doing it. Okay, so the next traffic source I'm going to speak about is thefind.com. And thefind.com is another shopping comparison engine, but this one actually happens to be free. So you could sign up for free and your clicks won't cost you any money at all. You can use this Retail Tower app that you've already installed to submit your shopping feed to them. And again, you won't have to pay anything for it. So I highly recommend this. It'll bring in sales and it won't cost you a dime. To do this, click on thefind.com, click to connect your store. And again, this will show you the FTP method. This is what you'll want to do. Until you could fill this out, you'll have to go to thefind.com to the Merchant Center. The website is merchant.thefind.com. You can click right here, join our merchant program for free. And once you sign up with them, you give them your store's website and your information, your name, your email address, and whatnot, and you accept the terms. They will give you your FTP information. You fill it out here. You click Save Channel Details, and then your products will automatically be submitted to the find.com. It takes about 2 to 3 days for them to go live from your first import of products, but after that, they'll be uploaded daily, every day, each day, and you'll never have any issues here. I've been using the find.com for years. It's a great free traffic source. The next one I want to talk about is Amazon Product Ads. Now, Amazon Product Ads is pay-per-click, and you can't get penny clicks there. It's an expensive website to bid on, but the good thing about it is the sales usually do convert. Every time you get a visitor from them, there's a good chance you're going to get them as a buyer. Unfortunately, it doesn't always make sense depending on what your pricing is and what your profit margins are. So again, use the $75 in free product ads. Experiment with that. Make that your budget. Once that $75 is spent, go to Google Analytics, check your tracking results, and see if that brought you any sales. If it brought you enough sales to pay for itself and make you some money, then deposit more money. If it didn't, then you can cut it as a traffic source. So I'll show you where these Amazon product ads actually show up though. If you go to Amazon.com and again, entryway chandelier, and someone's on Amazon, they're searching for it. They're obviously a buyer. Amazon's not a site people go to for information. They go to buy. So let's say someone's going, they're looking for it, and they go to this product page here, the first result. Now, here's all Amazon's information. You could add it to your cart. You could buy it from Amazon. But if the customer on this website is reading through the page and they get to this part, it shows product ads from external websites. Now, all of these companies that are listed here are advertisers. This is where you would be located. If you were selling entryway chandeliers and you paid per click with Amazon, one of these results would be your product, your description, your price, and it would link to your website. Down here where it says the website name, that would be your website information. So again, it's a great traffic source. If your profit margins and pricing is high enough, it could make sense for you. Try the $75, see if it works, and go from there. Now, the last form of traffic that I use that I would recommend are blog banner ads. And what that means is you can actually advertise, you can rent space on other people's blogs. So if someone has a blog that might be popular within your niche, you could ask them, hey, could I put a link to my website on your website? They typically charge a monthly fee for this, and it's based on how many visitors they have, how many readers they have, and their customers will see this link to your website, hopefully click it, hopefully they'll turn into sales. Now, this is a little bit risky because it's not always worth it. Sometimes they don't convert at all, but sometimes you could find really gold mines where you could pay a low monthly fee and bring in a ton of sales. So whenever I do this, I recommend contacting the blogs before you sign a contract with them, before you tell them you want to advertise with them, and ask for a week free trial. Tell them that you want to place your ad on their website for a week and track the results. And if the results equal sales for you, you're willing to sign a long-term contract with them. I've done this, and literally over 9 out of 10 times, it'll work for you. The blogs are more than happy to give you this test if they really do believe in their traffic, and you will be able to give it a week, and you use your Google Analytics account, see if the traffic that comes in converts for you. If it's bringing in sales, then definitely pay them and stay on with them. It's a great way to do it. So how do you find these blogs to advertise on? Well, let's say in the lighting niche, I'm going to think that interior designers want to buy these lights, right? So I want to find blogs that appeal to interior designers. So again, I go straight back to the Google homepage, and I'm going to do a Google search for interior design blog. Well, here's a directory of the top 25 interior design blogs, so I'll go right there. Okay, so on this website, I'll just go to number 1. I'll work my way through the list. Go here to designsponge.com. We'll see. Yes, okay. So let's see. Do they have ads? Well, I can tell already this is an ad right here. And these are all see everything right here on the side of their blog. This is their main blog content. These are advertisements. So all of these companies that are here pay to be there. So this company definitely offers advertising. So what I want to do at this point, this is only the first blog I found, but I want to find out how to contact them to see if I can advertise with them. They have a lot of advertisers. So let's see. Where's a contact page? It's usually in the footer, sometimes in the header. Let's see if I can find it. Contact, right up top, okay, in the header. So there's a contact page, so I would go to this page. They even have an advertise page. So I'll go to their advertise page. You won't always find that. On bigger blogs you will, but on some of the smaller ones they won't have that. But here you go, look, they have 90,000 daily visits, over 250,000 daily page views. I mean, this is great. These are different kind of premium ads they offer, flat rate ads. So what I would do right away is get a media kit from them. I'd request a media kit. I would tell them that I think my website would be a great fit to advertise with them, and I would ask them for that week free trial. Now, what's important about this is do this with as many websites as possible, of course, as long as they're in related niches. So apply for all of these websites, get your ad up there, do these week trials, track your traffic, and more importantly, track your sales in analytics. And if these websites are bringing you sales, stay on with them, sign contracts, pay them monthly, and keep the traffic going. If it doesn't convert to any sales, if it's not worth it financially, you just cut it out. It's that simple. But this is something I do, not just when I start a website, but throughout my website's lifetime. I'll continually go back to blogs I've tried in the past that didn't work. I'll continually seek blogs that I haven't advertised on, new and upcoming blogs, and don't waste an opportunity, because a lot of times you may be able to secure a spot let's say like one of these small ones, for maybe $100 a month or so, and it may make you thousands and thousands of dollars in profit, and it could be much more affordable than any type of other type of paid advertising. So it's really something to experiment with, as long as you can get those free clicks for a week and see if it converts for you. Okay, everyone, it's time for you to take action again. Before you move on to Module 7, I want you to take care of the following steps. Create all of your social media authority pages. If you forgot which ones I mentioned earlier, just look in the notes of this chapter and they'll all be there. Next, you should submit your products to Google Shopping and thefind.com. Make sure your product feeds are up and running. Use Retail Tower, install the app for free, and make sure your products are submitted daily. The next step is to test Amazon product ads. Again, you can use Retail Tower to submit all your products to your Amazon product ad accounts. Use your free $75 that I'm giving you to test this out, see if it works for you, track it in Google, and then decide if you want to proceed with them. The last step is to start contacting blog owners about a 1-week trial for a banner advertisement that links back to your website. Remember, you can never contact too many blogs. Get as much exposure as possible and track all of the results. Find what works and stick with it. And that's it, folks. Once you finish that, that's the end of Module 6. Once you're completed, you can move on to Module 7, which is automation, and there I'll speak about how to put everything that we've already done on autopilot once the orders start coming in. It's important not to do this until everything else, though, already is up and functional. We don't want to automate the business until we have a true understanding of how everything works and we're sure that it's running smoothly. So once you finish all of that, move on to Module 7, and I'll see you there. Welcome to Module 7 of Dropship Lifestyle. This module is titled Automation. Now, this is where things start to get interesting, guys. At this point, our store is up and running. It's full of different products from multiple dropshippers. We have new dropshippers being added daily. We're getting sales because our traffic's so great. Our website's optimized to convert, so it's bringing in those orders, and we are doing very good. We have lots of traffic, highly converting traffic, and all as well, right? Well, maybe we're working a little too much. Maybe this is taking us 7-8 hours a day to run, and we want to start taking some time off. We want to back away a little bit. Well, to do this, let's first look at the day-to-day tasks of running an e-commerce business. What actually has to happen for your business to continue to make you money? It's actually very simple when we get into it, and it's funny because I've sold businesses for 6 figures before where the new owners had thought I would need, months to train them and how to run everything, and literally within a week's time, you could transfer over a 7-figure a year business and train them how to operate it. It's not difficult here. So let's go through some of the basic tasks. Okay, the first thing, your main responsibility where you actually have to be there hands-on for is to answer customer inquiries. Now, a lot of times before customers place their orders with you, maybe they're going to call in, maybe they're going to email in, they're going to want to see if an item's in stock, maybe they'll have a question on a specific item, and you have to answer their inquiries. I mean, if you want to convert more interested people into buyers, you'll have to interact with them. That's a task of running an e-commerce business. What else? Once an order is placed, you'll have to check the stock levels with your dropshipper to make sure that you can fulfill that order. Another day-to-day task. Something else you'll have to do is submit the orders to your dropshippers. Once the customer places the order with you, you'll have to take on the responsibility of placing that order with your dropshipper. Another thing you'll have to do is pay your dropshipper to make sure that they ship the item to your customer. You have to pay them for the goods. And the last step is send tracking information to your customers. Guys, this is really it. I want it to be clear that there's really only 5 steps to running any e-commerce business once you have the previous 6 modules in place. These are the only tasks that have to be done to make sure your business will continue to thrive. Nothing else has to be done besides overseeing your operations and making sure these 5 things get done. So the great thing about Shopify, and one of the reasons I recommend it so highly, is because they have apps built in that you can use that will automate almost all of these. Now, unfortunately, there's not a way to set a program to answer your customers' inquiries and take care of every question a potential customer might have. That isn't included in these apps, but what is included are stock levels from suppliers, immediate orders being submitted to your dropshippers, payment to your dropshippers, and tracking information going directly to your customers. Now you may ask, how is that all automated? Well, I'm going to show you. Let me switch screens here and I'll go to the app that you can use. Okay, everyone, now I'm going to show you how to install the app that's basically going to automate all of your business operations. So again, you see here in my Shopify store, I'm logged in. I'm going to go to my store admin panel. Then I'm going to go to my app section. You'll see I already have Retail Tower and Hello Bar installed from previous modules. What I want to do now is get more apps. So I'm going to click the Get More Apps button. And then I'm going to search for the app called Ecom Hub. ECOMMHUB. Okay, so here it is. This app does cost $15 per month, but they do start you with a 14-day free trial. So once your store is already built, once you're ready to start taking orders, once you are taking orders, that's when I recommend installing it. You'll get these 14 days for free, and I'm telling you, if you're bringing in orders, it'll more than pay for itself in no time at all, and then you'll have no problem to pay $15 a month. You'll be grateful for it for the amount of time it'll save you. Now, what this app does, just like it says, it allows you to put your Shopify store on autopilot. You can manage all inventory across all of your vendors. You can automatically route orders so that when they come in, they're automatically submitted to your drop shippers. More importantly, once the drop shippers get the orders and they ship them to your customers, the tracking information that they input will go directly to your customers. This is really an amazing tool. It does cost $15 a month, but I'm telling you, when I first started in e-commerce 7 years ago, if I wanted an application like this, it would have cost me thousands of dollars to implement on my site. Now with Shopify, you can install something like this for free for 14 days, and then for such a fraction of the price that it's beyond worth it if you're really looking for a hands-off business. So to get started with this, you simply click the install app. You would enter your Shopify store URL here. Then once you install it, you can go to their website, ecomhub.com. They have a ton of training videos that'll show you how to set it up with all of your suppliers. So I'm not going to show you how to do that because the videos are already there. They're already available to you. But this program, what it will do is automate most of those day-to-day tasks. Remember, there's 5 day-to-day tasks that So here we are back to our day-to-day tasks that you have to accomplish when you're running an e-commerce business. Now again, Ecom Hub, this app that you've just installed or you're going to install after this video, it can eliminate most of these tasks for you. It's going to check stock levels once an order is placed automatically. It's going to submit your orders to your dropshippers without you doing anything. It's going to send tracking information to your customers automatically. So now what are you left? What are the 2 tasks that this app won't do for you? You'll have to answer customer inquiries, and you're going to have to pay your dropshippers. Now, paying dropshippers is extremely easy. They're going to send you an invoice at the end of the day. You're going to either send them a bank wire, you're going to pay them with PayPal, you're going to pay them with a credit card. Every dropshipper has different payment terms, but that's not hard at all. That could take you 10 minutes every evening. It's a very simple task. The task that requires more attentiveness is answering customer inquiries. Why this is so important is because if a customer is online and they're going from website to website looking at the same product and they're not sure if they're going to purchase it or not, they may have a question about it. Now, whoever answers their question first will most likely get the sale. So let's say they're on websites, they're calling, people aren't answering, they're emailing, no one's responding. Whoever responds first to them, they're going to go to that website and they're going to buy. Now, what I don't like about this is in the past, it meant I had to be at my computer all day waiting for these emails, waiting for these phone calls, and I had to be the one to respond because they literally do convert to sales. Inquiries equal sales. So how do you get away more? What if I wanted to go out and play golf in the middle of the day and I didn't want to sit at my computer for 3 hours to hopefully bring in a few sales? Well, this is what I figured out, guys. First of all, live chat is huge. What live chat is basically a window that pops up on the user's computer screen when they are on your website, and it allows them to talk to a representative. So let's say you don't want to hire any employees, you don't want to use any outsourcers, you want to be the ones to answer questions. Well, with these live chat programs, you can actually install apps on your smartphones, and when someone click to chat with an operator on your website, you will get a text message or your app will open on your smartphone and you'll be able to communicate with them directly. So you could be out and about, you could be doing whatever it is you want to do, and you could be talking to customers and converting them into buyers while you're out on the go. Now, this is a great way to get started, and if you don't have money to invest in a call center or into a virtual assistant at first, this is what I recommend. Now, once you do start bringing in sales and you have money to reinvest in your business, I highly recommend using a call center. Now, call centers are simply amazing. You can go on Google and just search for e-commerce call center or just call center, look up different prices, call the companies, get a feel for them. But what these companies will do is have your phone number on your website automatically route to them. You give them a script on what they should tell customers based on different frequently asked questions that you've already experienced while you ran the site yourself, and they'll answer any question your customers have. They'll even take orders for you over the phone that'll automatically come through your system. And what's great is since we've already automated the order process, once these call centers put the orders in the system for you, you don't have to do anything because they're already going to go out to your drop shippers and everything is just good to go. It's already in motion. So I highly recommend these call centers. You can get them starting at about 50 cents a minute for a US call center, which is how I would recommend it. You don't want your calls going to India or a country where it's going to turn your customers off. So when it comes time for you to automate your calls, to automate your day-to-day activities that Ecom Hub can handle, I recommend Googling either e-commerce call centers or even just USA based call centers and try to find companies that already work with clients such as yourselves and try to keep your pricing around 50 cents a minute. Now, it's important to note that you can negotiate with a lot of these call centers. They might have their prices on their website listed as higher than that, but from my experience, 50 cents a minute is more than enough. Now, once you have them set up, they're going to handle all of your customer inquiries for you via telephone. You're still going to have these inquiries coming in via email. So how do you automate that? Well, I used to just answer all these emails from my smartphone. I'd be, with my iPhone all the time anyway, so I would constantly be checking it. But it got to a point that got old. I didn't want to do that anymore. So here's what you do. You can go to a website such as elance.com or freelancer.com, and you can look for a virtual assistant in another country. Now, these virtual assistants work hourly. You can pay them either $2 to $3 an hour to answer your email inquiries. Now, their English isn't the best, but the good thing is they don't have to respond the second someone contacts them. They have time to formulate a response and to give them something that looks like it's coming from a US-based company. So what I usually do is hire freelancers to work for a few hours every morning in my time zone and a few hours every evening in my time zone. This way, I have all the busiest shopping times taken care of, and it only costs me about $10 a day for this. So for $10 a day, I don't have to answer any customer inquiries anymore. So here's what your job is. Once you automate all of this, your job is now to oversee everything. I still log into my emails to make sure that inquiries are being responded to. I still check responses to make sure that they're articulated correctly and that they're making sense to the customer. I still check to make sure that all my orders are being shipped in a reasonable time frame, and I still check to make sure all deposits are coming in when they should. So at this point, once you do all this, your job is now to oversee your business. It's now to manage every aspect of it and make sure things continue to run smoothly. Now, to increase your earnings, what I always do is increase my product lines. So just because you put up this website and it's making you money doesn't mean there's not more opportunity out there. So go back to your master list of suppliers, look back, contact suppliers you didn't get approved with, contact suppliers that you haven't even found yet, find more competition, and just keep building. Because the more you build, the more money you'll make. So your job now won't be to handle your day-to-day tasks, it will be to grow your empire. And it's not just through this one website you first put up. Go back to that master niche list you made in the beginning. Start looking into other niches and continue to build sites, continue to run them, then start automating them. Once you do this over and over and over, your income level can be whatever you want it to be. It does take time, it does take hard work, it does take dedication, but it pays off in strides in the future. And again, it doesn't take forever. Once you get the system down, it'll take you 2 weeks at first to get going. In the future, maybe it'll take you a couple days. It's a system that you can automate. It's a system that can be repeated, and it's a system that you can run in less than 4 hours a day. So that's it, guys. That's the end of Module 7 with automation. Now, if you have any questions on any of this material, not just from Module 7, but any of the modules, please get in touch with me. Click the support tab, send me an email, talk to me on Skype. Just get in touch with me because I really am here to help and I want you to succeed. I don't want a few people that sign up for this course to do well. I want everyone that signs up for this course to do well. So if there's any point that you're getting stuck at that you need a little help me out, just ask me. Don't just talk to me about it. Go to the forums, post there. That way everyone can see it. It's possible that many students are going to get stuck on the same points, so it's best for everyone to speak about it. If we all communicate and keep this an open community, everyone's going to succeed, everyone's going to thrive. So once you finish this course, start participating in the forums, even as you're going through it. Post in there as regularly as you can, respond to other people's issues, post your own, and we're all going to help each other, and everyone's going to be successful. So thank you. I look forward to talking to you in the forums, and best of luck.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Anton here. I just wanted to make a quick video for the international members of Dropship Lifestyle. The reason is, been getting a lot of questions ever since I launched the course, actually, of, can this business model be applied overseas? Or if you're from overseas, can you actually start an e-commerce business in the United States? What would you need to do? So basically, there's two different choices you have. You could either do business in your own country, which I personally would recommend trying. If you jump over to our forum, go on the Fast Business Forum, you'll see a lot of stories from people that have been successful both ways, either doing business in their own country or doing business in the States. Again, I would recommend targeting your own country first, simply because you already know it better. And it might be a little bit easier for you to get started. It would definitely be more cost effective. If you went the route of doing business in the US, you'd have to pay a company to set up an actual business for you. And it does cost a little bit of money and it will take a little bit of time. And it's kind of an expense I wouldn't recommend taking on before you're actually profitable, which is why I recommend starting in your own country. So basically, go through this course as if it was meant to target whatever country you're from. Go through every step the same exact way. and see how many suppliers you could find. Now, if you find that you can't get many suppliers for each niche, what I would recommend doing is niching up a level. So, for example, if you were selling, chandeliers on your site and you can only find a couple suppliers in your country, maybe go up to all lighting, just like lighting in general. A few more niches mixed in, maybe outdoor lighting, maybe track lighting, just different styles, so you could have more suppliers. That's not what I do in the States, simply because it's such a big business and there's so many suppliers available. But that's what I would do if I was in another country and I really couldn't find all that many. If you want to go the route of doing business in the States, I'm going to include a link under this video, and I'll actually include the whole text so you can just read it right here. But it's an FAQ of how you would go about setting up a business in the States if you chose to do so. And if you have any questions, again, just go over to the Fast Business Forum. There's tons of posts about this already, and all you should do is go to the search function and type in your country name. Basically, every major country has a few threads dedicated to it already, and if there's not one for yours, obviously, feel free to start a new one, because everyone's very helpful, and if someone's done it before, I'm sure they're willing to give you some feedback. So that's it for now, guys, and any questions, you can find me on the forum or send me an email to anton@dropshiplifestyle.com. Take care.